Wednesday night. Here we go. Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Welcome to the show. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the mayor of Chocolate City, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. Right? The world class smartass. This is what we do on Wednesdays, normally on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So at this point, I would like for people to share the show, let people know the show is on the air. We should be live on YouTube in our Facebook on our Facebook page as well as my personal page. And soon it will be shared in the People's News Network. So there's a million different ways you can catch the show. It's Outlaw Radio. County Blues, you see it on the screen. Hashtag free Sean Moore. We'll talk about why my brother Sean Moore is in need of some aid and assistance. He puts in so much to the community in terms of trying to work within the community and make it a better place. So we'll talk about that as we go along. Shout out to the Outlaw family. Shout out to everybody who shares the show every week. Great numbers lately. Really appreciate the support, man. So there's a number attached to the show as well. And that is 262-202-5131. That's the number. The chat room pops all the time. What can I say, man? Outlaw Radio is the voice of a particular group of foundational Black Americans in the city of Milwaukee that are fully aware of what's going on, that really have a lot to contribute to making things better. But for whatever reason, they don't have a voice, they don't have a platform. This is where you can do it at, man. I welcome people of all different opinions. Even if I don't agree with you, just not respect, but respect the platform. County Blues, a lot going on downtown. Really, we got to look at what's going on in our county jail tonight. And people always carry the water. So if anybody knows how to hook up with the brother Vaughn Mays, tell Vaughn to holler at us because I see he had done some content in regards to the prison, the jail, I should say, the county jail. So tap his line. I know y'all normally do when we say his name anyways on the show, right? Tell him to hit us up because I'd like to be fully informed about this. And if you know something about what's going on downtown, feel free to chime in. Mama Jenkins in the chat room. I see you, Mama Jenkins. She said, "Good evening, my outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do." Free Sean Moore. Um, and more than just a catchphrase, right? More than just a slogan. One of the problems that we've talked about a lot on Outlaw Radio is people do crimes, and young people in particular, and adults as well, that are way more egregious than anything this brother's done, or whatever you accusing him of, and you let them out with bracelets, and all kinds of unconditional probation and release, and they reoffend and do some shit worse than what you had them for. So why not let this brother go? This makes no sense. It's nothing, no lives were taken or anything like that. And here's a brother whose record speaks for itself in terms of working with young people and working in the community, integral into the streets, actually out there at the time protesting for the death of his nephew, who was murdered at the gas station on Tetonia and Cornell. So it's Outlaw Radio, man. County Blues. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the jail. And rest in peace to my partner T Buck, who perished in the jail as well, years ago, in which they shut his water off. So there's many other deaths. We'll talk about those tonight. Real, what it do, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm good, man. Just happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Outlaw Radio, man. It is the Hump Day edition. Free Sean Moore. How was your weekend, my brother? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was cool, man. My lady family had some things going on over there for the holiday, so the kids and her went over there, so I got to enjoy a little quiet and stillness, man. It's that shit. It goes underappreciated, man. Like I love when it ain't shit moving in my house. I love when ain't nobody making noise in my house, man. Like I love that shit. It's just a time to regenerate and restore. So that's what I was able to do. Dedicate some time to me, self care and do some things that I've been putting off that I needed to do for myself.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hope everybody out there had a great weekend as well. It was hot. My brother Eagle Eye Shaw, he said he's tapping in from work. Always
Peace,
appreciate it.
peace.
Those are the kinds of people that the Outlaw family consists of, people who are actually out here working, putting in the work, making things happen. They support this show. Speaking of which, here's a brother who's very integral to the community himself. The witch doctor, what's popping with you, bro? How you doing?
Peace, family. I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Hey,
Peace.
look, man. Life is great. I just wanted to say that right quick, right? Let me get that out there. How y'all doing?
Yes, I'm well
Man,
too.
doing
I'm
good. Doing great,
Free
actually.
Sean Moore. Free Sean Moore. Free
yeah.
Sean Moore.
Absolutely. I was just talking about the brother. We'll continue that conversation. Shout out to Earl Henning. He said, "Good day, my brothers. Much love. Yes, it's appreciated. Share the show, man. Y'all come on in, Milwaukee. 414. Come on in. 414 versus everybody. Come on in. It's Outlaw Radio. This is what we do. People say you put on for your city. I am my city. What are you talking about? Every time I open my mouth, every time I take a step, anything I do, it's Milwaukee attached to it. I can't shake the shit. I want
Dion,
to leave. I
hey,
want to move.
hey, Dion said, I am the SWAC. I am the
Right,
SWAC.
right. I am swag, right?
If I
And
ain't, who is?
right. Well, I'm just saying, man, and proud of it, right? All the troubles, all
Yeah.
the drama, all the dustiness that Mike Epps talked about. Come on, man. You could send me to Mars and I would use Milwaukee slang. I'd be looking for Milwaukee type food. I would move like it was the streets of Milwaukee. It doesn't matter where I go. It's in me, not on me. So yeah, if you feel that way, Outlaw Radio is for you as well. And I'm not saying that I won't move, I won't do what is it. I'm just saying, just know the essence of your being, where you come from. I came from a tight knit community, a strong black ownership involved community, educated black people, sophisticated black people, business owners, entrepreneurs, nurses, teachers, doctors. Al Jarreau. We're in this love together. Don't nobody know what he say
You
after
gotta
that.
love that last forever.
Oh, is that what he said? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I said I'm on my Al Jarreau shit. What are you
Yeah,
talking
come
about?
on, kid. Hey, listen, man. I told you I am Milwaukee too.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's why we can talk about the good, the bad, be honest about it, be fair, be clear, be concise. Only thing that we are not is politically correct, if you really think about it. And that's what Outlaw Radio is. And I know, we don't get all the love and respect and appreciation that we should, but it's all good, man. It's all good. I heard a man say one time, I do this for a cause, not for an applause.
Mm.
Although some hand clapping to be nice, free Sean Moore. Trying to get some apparel going, trying to get some shirts, some outlaw apparel going, some free Sean Moore joints. He has a court date coming up. We'll talk confidentially about that, right? We won't put that out there. But like I said, this brothers, you let this system, our justice system in Milwaukee, you let murderers, car thieves, rapists, molesters, all kinds of people right back out in traffic. And you tell them you can't let this man get a bail. I mean, come on. Like I get the whole legal thing. I get and I don't want to go into that. But the fact of the matter is nobody died, right? There's no real, it's like almost like a victimless crime, some of the shit that they got him up for. So, you know, holla at me, man. Free Shine More, free Shine More. Yeah, man, it was nice. It was nice. This weekend was nice. I got to do what I love to do, which is grill. But don't get me wrong. I can tell I'm getting old because it was hot as hell and I needed a drink of water. Right. I was like, God damn. That sun wasn't showing me no mercy. Right. But it was hot. It was nice. And like Real said, man, I shout out to my daughter, my baby girl who just went. She's going to, for her senior year in college, Taylor Barnes. And you start to realize how old you actually are. My son is a senior in high school. So I'm sitting like Rail is saying he appreciates when his house is quiet. I kind of miss when it was noisy, when it was activity, when it was the pitter patter of young foots running around the house. Right. So
Yeah,
when it's quiet, I'll
laughter.
be like, this is some bullshit. Right. I might just make some noise myself. I just fuck it. Let me make some noise. Shit. I'm gonna miss that. That's why I know I'm gonna have to give me a dog, right? as these youngsters grow up, man. But yeah, man, it's Outlaw Radio. Y'all hit us up, call in. Um, Kamar, now I know you was out. I know you was out. I seen you all over the place over the weekend, but anything special stood out that you said this was an incredible experience? I've been seeing you doing shit, so I want to give you a chance to shine some light on what you got popping.
Hey, man, look, I do so much shit, man. Sometimes you got to remind me what I done done, man. It be a blur. But really, man, let me see what I did. I did a men's health event.
There we go.
Jericho Church on 76th Street up there by just over the hill from Amato up there. And man, we had a dope time out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love talking when people want to listen. When people want to hear what I got to talk about, I love that, man. You know what I mean? I talk forever damn near. You know, and then when they interactive, you know what I'm saying? It was dope. We was able to laugh. You know what I'm saying? We got a little deep. It got a little spiritual in the church. You know what I'm saying? It was dope, man. It was a whole dope experience. Some of the brothers went deep and talked about what was on their minds. You know, we got to discuss that. You know, there's a couple young brothers talking about what they was going through with their baby mamas. You know, we got to give them some help. Got a chance to give them some healthy advice. It was just a dope space, man. You know what I mean? For you to be able to come and talk about anything, and then also to learn about health, what the food is doing to you or what it's doing for you. You know, it was dope, man. Just dope.
Oops. Give it up for black men.
right.
Almost
Hey, I
gone.
was gonna say,
Really, Kev? Really, Kev? Really?
yeah. So shout out to the fellas up there at Jericho Church, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was a blast. You know, they made it fun for me, man. The hospitality was live.
And see, that's what I'm saying. You got to stop this pursuit of this false narrative that black men ain't black men in the community.
That's right.
It's such a false narrative.
No. Hey, black men are black men, but the people that's saying it ain't black men.
Right. Well, obviously they don't know any black men who are black menning. And I don't know if I just created a term or not, right?
Right.
Like,
We
so
just went all deep into some new shit.
if somebody else, you hear somebody say black men and tell them they biting my shit, right? I'm saying because they try to and they try to create that. And I speak with brothers all the time. Kamar, that was powerful what you said about being somewhere where people actually want to hear what you have to say, so they're receptive instead of being argumentative or just trying to disagree for the fuck of it. Right. So that is a beautiful feeling, and we experience that all the time on Outlaw Radio a lot of times. So it's a dope thing. So I know the feeling. Juice Lady, you live. I don't know if you're checking your audio, but you live. How you doing tonight?
Oh, man, it's like, look, I'm in class right now, but it looked like y'all's having too much fun. I'm like, shit, let me log on and see what they talking about. Let me turn down this Spanish and see what the fuck they got going on. Like,
yeah.
¿Cómo estás?
see.
So I'm gonna leave now.
It's all good. It's all
I'll be
good.
back. Class over in 16 minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah,
for sure.
She's black womaning right now. She's going to school.
Right.
That's what it do. It's always a mission to keep improving ourselves, man. It's a mission, man, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you just gotta dig through the sand sometime to find the treasure. But it's damn near here. Ben Gallego, he said, he said, "What's happening, y'all? Shark fins up, right? Shark fins up, right? Okay." Earl Henning said, "When you don't kiss ass, they love to keep you locked up. They have a pattern of taking those of us out the community who could be a benefit to the community and allowing those who will be dysfunctional in the community to exist, right, on the streets, free." Mama Jenkins said, "Congratulations to Taylor Barnes as she completes the task of college. On to bigger and better things. Yes, I'm trying to talk my daughter into going to grad school because she's young and she's living her life, and she's been all over the world, been in England, studied abroad, doing theater and all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, hey, go and get the master's right now while you 20. She's just 21 years old,
man.
Right? So
do your thing, girl.
Right, go and get that, and don't be listening at the people. You should, hey,
fuck them.
And have a great time. You ain't got no kids, you ain't got no baggage like that holding you down. and she's mean as hell and very, very much a know-it-all. So very hard to deal with. So good luck on the dude who's gonna be able to get with her. He gonna be like, Mr. Barnes, she's driving me crazy. I know she is. Can't tell her shit. He said that's what's up. Deacon Mikey, my brother, Mikey said free my brother Sean. Much love, Kevin Kamar Carter. Yeah, man, free Sean Moore. What y'all talking about? Free Sean Moore. Stop with the bullshit. Look, the charges, and anybody can go and look at his charges, right? You put the bail jumping shit, whatever. I mean, but that's not. This ain't a brother who's gonna be driving in a Stoli or somewhere trying to like. This dude is trying to make moves in the community, man. Man, get that man his freedom. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. And what we really need to do is get these free Sean Moore t-shirts together so people can show up in court and support the brother on his court date. I'm hoping I can get this thing cracked off. I'm gonna put the pedal to the metal, man. I'm gonna do the best I can to get these free Sean Moore joints up and running. I gotta have a conversation with the boss lady and be real nice or something. I don't know how to get some chocolate dipped strawberries or something. I don't know.
Play
It's
a
not
little
something.
boys to men.
Not something I've ever done, right? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, no.
You might have to play a little boys to men.
That won't happen because that's against my principles. now you deserve that one. You deserve that one. Yeah, man. Eagle Eye said he does shirts. Hit him. I don't know. I had to talk to my wife because she said, well, I just don't have the time. That's cool. Then we could do them Eagle Eye. But then if I jump outside the family, she's gonna be like, really? That's your move? Right? That's how you get down. That's how you do business. So we got to take care of home first. I want to talk about the county jail. Y'all chime in. Like I said, somebody hit the brother Vaughn because Vaughn, I seen him. He did a whole joint about it. And really, this has been going on. There's only been certain people talking about it. And so I wanted to, like, Mama Jenkins sent me some dope stuff in terms of information. Not dope stuff. I shouldn't say dope stuff. But I'm saying bare facts, and I like to deal in facts. So let me get this picked up right now. Like I said, rest in peace to the homie T-Buck, who we know perished in the county jail, right? Yeah. T-Buck, real fella, right? Real factor. So let me read this off, okay? In terms of the Milwaukee County Jail, 4 people have died in the Milwaukee County Jail since June of 2022. 4 people. 21-year-old Breon Green and 20-year-old Clavia Thyron both died from alleged suicides in June and December, respectively. 49-year-old Octaviano Juarez Cordero, whose cause of death is still unknown at this time, and 37-year-old Terrence Mack was found unresponsive in his cell on March 16th of 2023. There still are no answers about some of these deaths. Mama Jenkins, this comes from Mama Jenkins. She also said that Sean said the jail is in very bad conditions. And it's very dangerous. The conditions are very dangerous, right? Okay, so we talk about incarceration on the show a lot, right? And we say, do criminals deserve, right? Who cares? You you got your time, do your time. You did the crime, do your time. And I've been very hard on people trying to make prisons comfortable places. But if there's life-threatening conditions, if this many people have died, and we didn't even talk about T-Buck right there, and they just talked about the last 4 months. There was a couple other people who perished after that brother too. Terrell Thomas, I should say. I shouldn't keep calling him T-Buck. Say his name. Good. Say his name. They say his name though, right? So now this has been happening. There's a little noise about it, but it should be way more, right? Anytime a person of color goes into any kind of correctional facility and doesn't come home, I think it's suspicious, right? Especially something like a county jail or detention.
It should be.
Right.
It should be. How suspicious would it be if one of them officers came into our home and didn't make it back home?
Yeah. Yes. Right? Yes.
Like serious like that. You know what I'm saying?
Once again, this is on our dollar, though. This is on our dollar. This is the county jail. So taxpayers are these people. Once again, it's an example of the people who want it so hard. So, well, let's get this raise. Let's get this tax increase, generate more money. right? Have no accountability for the shit that's going on under their noses. If you look at the city of Milwaukee, we discuss all the time the mismanagement of the various departments of the city. Like, you have to know that a city can't get this dysfunctional unless the top is fucked off, right? They say shit rolls downhill. Okay. So you look at the county, for all the smiling and ribbon cutting and all this, we need a real live inquest on what's going on. I thought at one point that the county had, like, I guess, outsourced the control of the county jail. I thought there was another corporation running it, but I think they got away. I think they got jettisoned after the homie Terrell Thomas's death. But when I look today to see who actually runs the jail, it's basically another county entity, a governing body of correctional facilities. It's not owned. I thought it may be even, a corporation, because it was at one point a corporate, like some sort of security corporation running it. Let's see what we got in the chat room. Let's go. Y'all, Earl Henning, he said they don't want to change anything that happens bad in the hood. Hell no, we know that. Mama Jenkins said, let's go, KB, with the shirts. He want me to inform y'all that whatever y'all do, it will be appreciated. Can't call in because they get locked down at 6 or 7. I understand that. I didn't think he would be able to call in. I thought he would have banged my line, but I'm not tripping, considering the circumstances. Ruben said, yet there's an issue of cruel and unusual punishment. They may be in jail, but they have constitutional protections. That's very true. That's true. So when I get to talking Old Testament justice and that type of thing, most of the time it's an emotional reaction because of the crime some of these people commit. Right.
And Kevis, we talk is different types of crimes that we talk about. We talk about, when we talk like that, we talk about crimes where lives is at stake. Lives have been taken. Right. Women have been raped. Child, you know what I mean? Like, we talking about heinous crimes when we talk like that.
Right. Communities destroyed.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I mean, we know that Sheriff Clark they were in control of the jail for a while, or a long period of time. The county has always governed the jail. A lot of people don't understand the difference between the county and the city of Milwaukee, not understanding that the county is over parks and the freeways and that kind of thing, the zoo and stuff like that. I always thought it was stupid that the Milwaukee Police Department and the county, the sheriff's deputies don't work together more. Like, I was just like, that don't make sense. If Washington Park or if Sherman Park is your district or whatever would have you, and you're in that community anyways, why not extend patrols? I don't know what they do. I don't know if people say they might already do that. I don't know. I would think that it would function much more effectively if so. I got a bunch of people in the chat room. Dion said, man, what the fuck? Yes, 4 deaths since April of 2022, and many more before that. Shout out to Miss Beverly. Miss Beverly, I know you got the dirty on what's going on in the county jail too. They actually just had a mini uprising, right? Like, where 27 brothers barricaded themselves in the library because of now what they said was rec time and time out of their cells, which I would have been like, well, hold on. We ain't riding about that, because I'm hoping it's the other conditions where I think medical attention is one of the main ones, because the brother Sean was having some issues. And shout out to Lena Taylor. Mama Jenkins says she hit Lena Taylor on the jack, and Lena jumped on it, and they made sure Sean was straight.
We want free time.
Well, is that what it's about? Is like we barricading in the.
We want free. I can't breathe. Let me out this cell.
Somebody lace me up. Put my coattail on what's going on, because it got to be more than that, right? Like, I know years back they was talking about eating Nutriloaf and stuff like that. I mean, are people getting chivved and getting thrown off tiers? Or I'm not a jail dude, so I don't know.
You say you ever had Nutriloaf, Kev? Do you even know what that's about? You ever had that?
You talking about the other day when them brothers rose up in the county jail?
Yeah, they locked them. They barricaded themselves in the library. That's what I'm saying. There's something going on down there. Now, the answer to your question is, as a free man, I don't eat Nutriloaf. I never have. Okay. Once again, I spent a one night in the county jail downtown. Didn't go upstairs. Stayed downstairs, and refused to take the sausage sandwich. Like, I was not eating that thick ass bologna. Had I been there for any extended period of time, it would have been a meal. Don't get me wrong. But no, I've never tasted Nutriloaf. No, I eat free Negro food. But just okay, just because they're locked up, I don't think they deserve to eat slop. Or when I speak about how criminals should be treated in prison, I talk about the bare minimum. 2 hots in the cot. All that extracurricular shit can walk if you in there for raping and molesting and murdering the shit. You lost your rights. You fucked your rights off. Let's see. Vince Tony. Shout out to Vince Tony in the chat room. He said, "What up, Outlaws?" Ruben Anderson said, "What's good, Vince?" Markel Dejan McCormick. How you doing? How you doing? He said, "Can I join the conversation and call in or join the live?" Hit the line, hit the line, hit the line. What you got to contribute. Welcome anybody to contribute to the conversation. Let me see. Dion says, "Bro, if motherfuckers locked up 23-1, that shit is bogus." Okay, now we talking. Now we talking. Okay, if it's 23-1, right? Especially at the county jail.
Hey, look, and you know what? In the county jail, they don't do that, but like some jails, like in Dodge, that's mandatory.
Okay. 23-1.
That's mandatory. They let you out every other day to take a 5-minute shower, but that's mandatory. It depends where you at, but at the county jail, no, that shit ain't cool. Unless you wouldn't go, or you know what I mean, it's some kind of punishment, like you done got rolled up or something. You know what I mean? They'll lock you up there.
Yeah, I was about to say though, I don't want to lose the point of we're talking about the penitentiary versus the county jail, right? Like so. Yeah, 23-1. I mean, I know that they holding some dangerous criminals too, because you go there first, right? Where you're awaiting trial. So, but it's still a different kind of scenario.
Oh no, you go there when you on your way to that's like where they figure out where they finna send you.
Right. Okay. The preliminary. Let's check this chat room out because this is a conversation. Like I said, I believe when we did the show called Crime and Punishment, and I talked about like even with the little 8-year-old, what was he 8, 9, 10 who shot his mom? I'm like, put him in Waupon. That was me who said that. So I think you got to make examples sometimes out of people who are habitual line steppers in the community. Vince said he's taking a break for self-care. Everybody needs that. Ironically, when Sean was on the show last, we were encouraging him to do the same thing before they apprehended him. Ruben says, "No, but they're treated as if they're in the middle passage." Okay. If they packed in and they saying, "Dude, y'all got us bunched in, and we don't get to ever go outside," I can understand that.
Right.
Ben Gallego said, "Lost their right off top, mandatory." Okay. Markel said, "A lot of people are claiming they free men on the land. I like to ask, are you subjected to 515.39 by law?" First of all, I don't know what that is. So you'd have to explain it to me. And when I said I'm a free man, I mean I'm free from incarceration. Okay. I'm not in jail. I'm not a dude who goes and does bid. Right. Like your ass ain't free, nigga. When I say that, I mean I've never been in the penitentiary. Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not the dude who does bids and wait, Kev locked up. Oh, for real? No, if somebody said, "But who? For real? Kev locked up." Are you serious? I'm not a jail dude. So I said I'm free. And I said I'm a free man. I eat free food, meaning I determine what I'd like my meal to be. So I don't want to get I'm sure you can explain that law to me, though. I'm sure in some way.
That'd be dope if you call in and explain it. I
Right.
wanna know if it's kind of like that straw man shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the because like I'll be looking into sovereignty and shit like that, and it'd be like everybody, if your name is all capitals, that's your corporate representative and shit like that. Because you actually a corporate slave, if you got a birth certificate, shit like that. So I'm curious if that's what he touching on.
Holler at us. Let us know, man. 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. Run across the bottom of the screen.
That's what I was talking about when I said he took it there. Like
I mean, I've heard it before.
Yeah, that's fly as hell if he take it there. Like I plan on buying.
We've had that discussion before.
Them black law dictionaries. Or
haven't we all asked that question on the show? Do you feel free? Do you feel oppressed? I mean, we've had that show a million times. What is freedom to you? I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'd love to know what his third eye is saying. He said 23-1 really turns into 24.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, Courtney.
I was feeling real, I definitely got one of those Black's Law dictionaries.
Oh, you do got a Black's Law dictionary?
I know
How you
versions.
like that shit?
It's good. I forgot. It's in the living room. I ordered it a couple years ago. I forgot what the
Right, when you look up mortgage, that's a death what is it, a death pledge and shit, and
Yeah.
right.
as a black person and shit, that
Dang.
mean you're dead or something. Like it get
They
deep.
gauging
Okay.
how much, something gauging how much you pay till you dead or something like that. By how
We got a
much you make.
caller.
So you got mortgage. Mort is a part of the word
Yeah.
from mort.
Hold on, caller.
I
He
was
was
the one who used the profile Markel de John McCormick. I'm also
Oh, okay.
like Gladiator. And I souped up on Comune is my original attribute. And as well, he's the rapper named Go Dizzy from DC, Northwest.
From DC. Can y'all
So you'll
hear
see that
him?
on the page.
Can y'all hear this brother?
Yeah, you'll see that on the page.
Hold on,
You'll see that on the
caller.
page that as far as
Hold on, caller. Let me make sure people can hear you because it sounds kind of muddled.
It's kind of muffled.
Okay, it sounds a little like you got something over the phone. We can't really hear you clearly.
oh hold on. Let me try now. Can you hear me now? Better?
Yeah, that's way
Y'all
better.
can hear better now. Okay, now tell
That's
people
way
who
better.
you are.
All right, I used the Facebook profile of Markel D. John McCormick. I was talking about CFR 515.329, which is saying that you're subjected to law by assumption, which means they consider you a transmitted utility to a corporation, a dead person, not an
Okay.
OLS, original organic living soul.
Okay, and so your point was basically, nigga, you ain't free.
That most people claim they're free man on the land, but they're not. Most people are saying that they're free, but they're not moving on free. It's a difference between putting freedom in motion, right, and then being free, and then claiming that you're free is what I'm saying. So to act free and to know you're free and to act free is different.
Okay. I don't. I
So
guess we wasn't really jumping in that deep in the deep end of the pool with it. It was a metaphor for me, basically.
No, I get it. When he said that, I really had started. If you look on that profile, I started the name Free Man on the Land. So when I say that, I was saying that according to Public Law 97-280, which states the whole Bible is law, not sovereignty, but just dealing with the Bible and the North America, they state that the Bible is law. So I realized, hey, this is what they're going by. If you follow the last trumpet dealing with Trump and his message, you'll say, oh, okay. Revelation 6:1-9 is same as Zechariah 6:1-9, which is law, because Public Law 97-280. So the state get their laws from the church, so there's a separation between church and state.
Okay. And there actually people say separation from church and state, but there's really no official law or on the book that says separation from church and state. It's really more. It's more like kind of like mentioned. It's kind of like referenced. It's kind of like encouraged to have separation from church and state, but it's not the way people use it is wrong.
It's a lot of mixed. Yeah, it's a lot. No, I'm not wrong. It's called imperialism. Imperialism is law. Also, the national motto on the back of a dollar bill, "In God We Trust," is law. And it's also called a Sharia law, right? Because when we change the law from the W to the M, it's Islam. You know what I mean?
No. I'm saying we know that people hold that near and dear in America, separation between church and state, but it's not officially written in that way in our government. I know it's in effect.
Yes, it is. It's called Public Law 97-280. Go read it. The Supreme Court ruled it.
Okay. I'd have to go and read it. Thank you for
telling.
So
you're saying that I agree with you. I agree with you that you're saying that, but I'm saying, hey, I found the law. They're saying that the whole Bible is law and the Supreme Court ruled it. Okay. Hey, you ain't found it? I think I found it. You know what I mean?
No, I never seen it. I never seen it. You seen that, Rail? I never seen it. I never seen that.
I've never seen it.
Look it up now.
I've never seen it, but I mean, shit.
I mean, look it up now.
When you look at how the,
most people think that
hold on, caller. Let me give Rail's response because this is one of his rounds too.
I was just gonna say I've never seen that law per se, but when you understand that they say the Federal Reserve reports to the Vatican, you can understand how the Vatican run all this shit and the European monarchy and shit like that. So they do say that like Rome, England, and I think Israel or America is like the three powers type shit. So it makes sense. I mean,
Okay. Now hold on.
I just never seen the law.
We got another caller. Dion was popping.
No, how you doing?
Who is this?
Ruben Anderson.
Oh, Ruben, you and Dion got to say, okay, what's happening, Ruben? What's going on, brother? My fault.
Hey, I just wanted to tap in, man, on that county jail situation. You know, as I was talking, I was just kind of sitting here thinking about, you know, now that all the pills are wearing off and all the weed are wearing off and all the alcohol is wearing off and now the frustration sets in and the anxiety. And so a part of that being messed up in that county jail is like, you know, people find themselves on the voice of psychological death. Your will been broken. And so now you're forced to sit in these conditions, and then the conditions being bad already, you know, are not intended to be sweet, you know, so that people can come in and, you know, and walk out and do what they want to do. You're supposed to hate it, but I can see a lot of the frustration, you know, and shout out to Lena. I talked to her the other day too, so I'm thankful that she did call up there. And also, Pastor, I forget his last name, out of Madison, though, he looked out for Sean as well. So there's a lot of people there. But at the end of the day, though, man, you know, we've got to learn that, you know, we don't want to have those chains on us. We can't put those chains on us. If we ain't got those chains on us, they ain't got no right to do what they want to do to us. There's a lot of issues here that I see, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to say, you know, my stepson said to me when he was up there, this is one of the worst places you ever want to be. It's just terrible. Well, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we ask for when our behavior, you know, dictates such, you know. So I just want to tap into that. Y'all have a good evening, guys.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, peace,
Yeah,
peace.
I like to say that the people who wrote the Constitution did not write it with slaves in mind. Therefore, George Washington and all of them had slaves, and they did not write it in mind. Therefore, you can always ask, hey, does this law apply to me? Because how am I supposed to act according to law if it doesn't? But you know what, though, bro? I ain't trying to cut you off when you're saying that, though. But, you know, a lot of people can save a lot of time in that county jail. You know, instead of doing like the little riot thing they did, all you got to do is go back and 15 or 20 of y'all come together. We determine that we're going to go in at 5 lawyers and ask for a quick and speedy trial. But I'm also saying that, you know, and when you talk about the Constitution and how it applies to us, you know, there are certain protections, but at the end of the day, it breaks down into economics. Job means job in the Bible. Yeah, but you going deep into it. You going ignorance that people have built.
All right, hold on. Time out.
Yeah, he going deep for me, man.
I know, but we can't. Listen,
I'm going high. That's my whole point.
Listen.
Get it to the top of your head. Yeah, we can talk that.
This is what I do when the line gets unbearable. I just hang up. It's Outlaw Radio on a Wednesday night. We can't talk over each other, y'all. We can't really talk over each other because nobody can understand what you're saying. So if you do call in, and I appreciate it, we just got to respect each other's, you know, our take our turns. What you say, Courtney?
Trying to tell Real something.
Huh?
If anybody else hear it while I'm telling Real, then I mean, you know, take heed to it. But anyway, Real, you know, the Black Chamber of Commerce, they got this program, this boot camp. You do an all-day boot camp. You know, they give you $1,000 towards your business. You know, they ain't gonna give you money, but they'll pay for whatever you need, $1,000 worth. So, and, you know,
I just did it a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, and I did that's the one. Last Saturday. You know, I have.
That's the one he said it's a waiting list for, right? And
but you know, I work there though. You know, that's what I do. You know, I'm all
hit me up.
So,
hit me
up.
up.
You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and wait list.
Hey, but shit, even if it was a waiting list, shit, you get on it.
Yeah, true,
you know
true.
What I mean? Time's still moving. Time
I can definitely fuck with that. Yeah, I fuck with it.
Yep. So you can go to the website twbcc.com and go to the events page and look at the list of you know, boot camps and whichever one worked for you. You know, I'll be checking your name and I'll make sure you on there so you get your money.
For sure. I appreciate that. I'm gonna take a look at that.
For sure.
It's live too.
Somebody else heard that. You know, hey, get your money.
That's good. I'm you know, I'm on some anti anybody who don't rock with Outlaw Radio, but I'm gonna let it pass. Right? I'm starting to get to the point where I don't want to mention anybody's organization that don't acknowledge.
Nigga, I told you to come to. I told you to come. I invited you. What you talking about?
That's not the point, Kamar. That's not the point.
You are invited. I'm a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce.
I'm
They
not.
fuck
I'm
with
not.
you, nigga.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm
You
not.
don't want
I'm not.
Kev.
Sure.
Anybody who ain't with my gang, I ain't riding with them.
I'm a part of that gang, Kev. So you in it? Like
Nah.
we
No,
connected.
Yeah, man.
they need to hit me up. Ben, Ben Gallego says kids ain't right in their mind. They can't be liable per se for their actions. Dion says that's crazy. I just seen bro down there in Tetonia and show love. Eagle Eye said my mindset is to stay out of trouble, stay out of the system's hands. Jail's not designed to be fun or pretty. Guys do crimes, then go to jail and want to be in a hotel. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean shit. I mean, I could definitely understand it ain't no hey, peace, goddess. So
Carmelita.
I could definitely understand how people say jail ain't meant to be fun. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the shit that niggas in jail for, you understand how the dice is loaded. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, and I feel them what they saying. I just can't be like as cold hearted to that. Well, I ain't gonna say they cold hearted, but I can't be as short to that shit because everybody in jail ain't no kill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't no killers. Everybody ain't no abusers. There's motherfuckers in jail just was trying to feed their mama type shit. I used to go to school with a nigga in freshman year. First dude I ever seen with a pager because he used to have to call his PO. 14 years old, we freshmen at King. He used to call his PO from our 6-hour class after lunch so his PO could see that he's in school. But he was hustling because his mama had cancer and he had to feed the family at 14. Had to keep his mama fed who was sick in bed with cancer and had siblings. You know what I'm saying? That's how he got pinched and had to call every day from English class. So everybody ain't like just no horrible ass people out there.
It's some brothers in prison. It's some brothers in prison that they've been taking care of their kids their whole life, right? But because they didn't have a job to pay child support, they in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Shit.
You know
okay.
what I mean? So it ain't always fucked up. That's why I say when me and Kev talk about this shit, we talking about these heinous crimes, these heinous motherfuckers. They don't even see the light of day.
Yeah, like I just I seen something today that broke my heart, man. That I used to fuck with Brother Polite, but I guess he just pled guilty to like
child molester. You ain't know?
Hell no, I ain't know.
Yeah.
They just caught another dude on that shit.
Hey,
Another
man,
dude.
the girl that they was saying who he was taking around, been around him her whole life, damn near.
That shit crazy. I mean,
I remember watching his videos years ago and shit, and I remember she was one of his daughters.
Oh man.
Then when she was old enough, she was talking about that's his wife, one of his wives.
Oh goddamn.
We got a caller. Caller, what's popping?
Hello, Outlaws.
What's going on? What's your name?
Peace.
This is your friendly neighborhood, Dion. Outlaws. You know, hey, yeah, man, that's crazy, man. The motherfuckers threw the handcuffs on all the time. I just seen, bro, man. Like, man, that's crazy. I hope, bro, go ahead and come on home, man, for real, because, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've been to all that shit, man, and that it ain't nowhere for no true players, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Niggas be slipping up in, man. I ain't gonna lie. That shit, man. I said, oh God, man, I can't even take it now, man. Just thinking about that motherfucker place. Cause I did 2.5 years, man. That shit was rough on the real. But you know, one of the brothers, he was making sense though, because when they passed the 13th Amendment, you know, if you was a prisoner, you wasn't considered a human being. It was like almost slavery, you know, and they allowed people down south. Now, I don't know about up here in north, but back then during the Jim Crow era and during Reconstruction, you know, when they passed the 13th Amendment, everybody was free except for prisoners. So they allowed people to go to prison to rent inmates, basically, to come across the land and do whatever, though. You know, so, but those brothers down there, those 27 young men, that did that situation, man. You know, like we don't know what them guys going through down there, man, because we not up in there. You know, for one,
Right. It could be
the
all kind
sheriff,
of
whoever
corrupt
the
shit.
fuck that is, Anita Ball, she could come say anything that's going on down there to try to appease the crowd and the public. But 9 times out of 10, you know, a lot of people ain't gonna really feel sorry for people that's locked up. But like Rail said, man, the system so petty. You know, it be motherfuckers locked up down there. You could go to a prison for child support, like literally. And how can you pay your child support and catch a felony for going to you know what I'm saying? So the dice is rolled against you, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong, like you said, Kevin, you know, I ain't killing his mama. That nigga need to be in Bostonville, and there's niggas out here running the red lights and killing people, robbing people, sticking people up. But man, they got average everyday people, man. Like I was telling y'all about that situation. I said, you know, when I forgot what the subject was months ago when we talking about. I said you got to be careful with pushing these new laws because any of us could be subject to this shit. You know, I listen like you listen to Sirius Texas Satellite 126 every Wednesday. Got Exonerated Wednesday. And you hear about brothers that did 17, 18, 19 years for something they didn't do. My nigga, I'll be hot. I'm 45 years old. Motherfucker, I don't forgive nobody. They be coming out like, I forgive them. I wish the DA died. I wish the judge died. I wish the lady that accused me of this shit died. I wish y'all took my life. So you gotta be, man, listen, man, that's a fear of mine, man.
Well,
I
Dion,
be scared, you know, I'm all
Dion, everybody understand. Look, that's the whole issue is that the conviction rates are disproportionate, and what we don't the scales of justice don't go our way. We get incarcerated at a higher rate, and we get convicted at a higher rate than our white counterparts for the same crimes. Now, I want to make this point.
Right.
The reference that I made earlier is that the phrase that Americans use to describe religious freedom and separation of church and state is not found in either the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. It comes from an 1802 letter by Thomas Jefferson. So I know that it's a thing, but the actual how people understand it, like this is written in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, it's not.
That's
it's
what
not.
saying.
That was the point I was trying to make. Now let me get my chat room.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dion. Let me get my chat room. Eagle Eye says, old school told me when I did go to jail, if you cried before you came in, you wouldn't be here. Don't come in jail and start complaining. The brother Markel says it means you're subject to law by assumption. I understand, but to claim free and act free is different. He said, please fisk the phone. I called in. There's no problem with my phone. You did call in and your call was muffled. So, and then once you got clear, you know, there's rules to what we do. So I can't allow for two people to just start yelling over each other because it just becomes a mess. So usually I just terminate the call. So you're welcome to call in, man, if you got a clear connection.
This ain't Salmetto TV.
Right. This what you were saying is a different, like there's a lot of truth to what you were saying.
We don't argue.
Right. No, not at all. I mean, you sound like you had some in-depth knowledge of something. I just wish it was the connection was there.
Yeah. He was very knowledgeable.
Definitely not running from no smoke, right? So,
there we go. We back, y'all.
He's calling back. Let me see.
Hey, me and Courtney back together, y'all, just to let y'all know.
Okay. Okay.
Not be lying.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Hey, I'm gonna let the other caller call back, man, and I'll pick up on the other line when I get to Grafton.
There you go, my brother.
Listen, I'm coming through this storm down here, man. Wish me luck, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All
right, love, bro.
Man,
love.
Peace. Mama Jenkins said they had him coloring pictures at the table in court. The 10-year-old. She said she's talking about the 10-year-old who murdered his mom.
They killed his mama.
Great grandson, and he knows when I say no about a damn game, I mean no. About this kid, he knew where the gun was and was kept. She said his mother should have put fear in his little black ass. His little ass should have been beat. She's talking about the kid who I said should go right to prison. The devil spawn. She said.
Man.
She said get a got a black law book, and in the morning I'll be looking it up ASAP.
Yeah, mine ain't old enough, real. I was just looking through there. It was the 5th edition. That shit ain't about nothing.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I still gotta get one. That they whacking on Amazon for that shit though.
Man,
That let me know it must be some real shit in there.
No, it is.
All right. I got this brother back on the line. I want to give
I'm
him a
sorry,
chance
for sure.
I want to give him a chance to bring some clarity to what he was talking about. My brother, do you have a good connection now where we can hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You sound clear right now.
Yeah, sound good.
Okay, yeah. I apologize. I didn't know if I sound clear or not, and I can only hear a little bit of words. So that's why I was trying to, you know, talk. I didn't really hear what people were saying.
It's all good. That's why I just broke it up because I figured that it was some signal wasn't signaling.
Technical difficulties.
Right. So that's why I said we just start
clean. Oh
yeah.
yeah. I appreciate that too. I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah. Let me know when it's okay to talk, and I'll just state what I have to say. And, yeah.
Well, hopefully you can hear us, and so I don't want to say, okay, your turn.
I can hear. Oh
okay.
no, not like that. Yeah, but okay, I'll speak now. Then what I was saying was they are under assumption because remember they are dealing with things that your crucial information that governs your daily activities, right? So they're dealing with the crucial information that governs your daily activities. And what I mean govern means what controls your daily activities. If you go into a store, they want money. Point blank period. Now, if you claiming that you're free, that's one thing to say it, but to go in the store and prove it is another. So according to CFR, right, which is a case of Federal Reserve, meaning Code for Federal Reserve, right, a law. They saying 515 point, which is a dot 329. They're saying, hey, these people are transmitting utilities because they have not stated that they haven't fired us as a government. They're voluntarily working with the money, the economic system, as far as the Federal Reserve. So they're all in, majority of them, and the ones that are all in. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah, the ones that are in are under the assumption we can assume that they're transmitting utilities. Even if they claim a name Strawman or don't, they have not made a notify, right, that they're not a transmitted utility. What do I mean by this? That you have a landlord at the end of the day. Everyone has bills, but have not overconquered that. How do you overconquer a bill? How do you pay a bill with a bill? If I have a light bill, right, or Verizon bill, or a dollar bill, how do I pay a bill with a bill? They have not answered those questions. So my whole point is a promise to pay back. A lot of people are falling in debt because they're not putting the effort in, right? Seriously, they're not putting the effort in to see what's going on. Like Brother Polite, this is just going off because the rumor is very good. It's very easy to pass down than the truth. They don't recognize that Brother Polite is the same person that followed after the teachings of Dr. Malachi Z. York. Now, when you go look at the picture of Dr. Malachi Z. York, he has a scroll in his hand. He's smiling, and it says 135 years sentence. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1 is 9. He's the first to talk about ether. Now, how is that when you look on you read on the bottom of it, he talks about he's going to get persecuted for his religious beliefs, and that he is innocent. He's never been convicted to this day, and he's still alive. People are not paying attention to what's going on around them, and they're following the media. So, my whole point of saying this is that hey, people are following. It's two sides to this, right? And I'm not saying there's a polarity to everything, but I'm saying we all been sold on the half truth, and there's no full lie and there's no full truth. Like there's no full wrong and there's no full right. These are all various degrees expressed on the same action, like hot and cold. Same action, just expressed on different degrees and various degrees.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. Okay. So what I'm saying. So I make that point to say that's the law: land, air, water. These are the things that are controlling you. You pay for the air, accumulating molecules in the air to conduct the AC. This is not a game that I'm telling you about. I'm saying that they're planning on pushing in your door and vaccinating you. And if you are, because their assumption that you did not change, basically you're a corporation, you're already dead, so they can shoot you now. That's what they're getting ready to do. So that's called the last trumpet in the Bible.
What I need for you to do is give us your page so people can go and I think people need more groundwork on what you're talking about. I know there's a lot of people listening who are like, what the hell is he talking about? What's your page? What's your social?
The page I use is MARKEL space DEJON McCormick. That's spelled McCormick, the name I use, McCormick, is spelled McCormick. You'll see in those pictures I dealt with Kevin Gates. I dealt with King Von. I was a rapper at one time, so I know the ins and outs of crossing over a Rosicrucian, you know what I mean, to rise up. What I mean by that is if you ask a question in court, like Brother Polite used to ask questions of Dr. Malachi York, or ask questions to the Masons, right? Then it becomes a staff, like a question mark, a shepherd staff. When you look at that shepherd staff, you say, hey, wait a minute. That shepherd staff divides you, right, from the goats to the sheep. What LeBron calls himself, the goat. What all these other people call themselves, the goat. But why am I the sheep? Okay, now let me let you see something real quick. This is all law, public law 97-20. What are they saying?
I thought we was trying to get Sean up.
A very dramatic turn. I think we got to get you on the show on a different night, my brother, because this show is really about my brother who is a community activist, who's being community
leader. Well, that's
leader.
what I was trying to bring it to. That
he's a leader in our community, and we want to focus right now. We want our focus to be on what's going on in the Milwaukee County Jail, in which they've had 4 deaths since April of 22, and there's more before that. And we lost
free because
we lost a close friend that's near and dear to my heart, as well as Kamar's heart, as a result of the egregious conditions at the county jail as well. So I want to bring the focus back in, because you just cast a very wide kind of like spectrum.
Well, I apologize about that. I was going that route anyway, but I want to say that basically dealing with the prison industrial complex, it is not the prison industrial complex that keeps us down. It's all these things compiled with our own ignorance, and that these things must stop and come to a cease, because it's a sanctuary of ignorance that must fall. We cannot live on as free people born in this world free and paying these liabilities, and we're not liable for them. So I say let's go bust them out. I say let's go bust all our brothers out. I'm not being funny with you, I'm serious.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they're integrating machine and man in prison as well as inside. This world is a so-called prison. This so-called Earth planet is a prison. You see all these boxes? That's called sacred geometry. You're in a cell right now. This is called a ceiling.
All right, let me get my chat room. Let me get my chat room. Crystal Ship is shouting at Chris. I said Crystal. She's shouting at Courtney. She said, "Hey, Alki." Richard Henry. Oh man, old school. He said, "Sup, KB, my brother, man. How you doing, man? Long time no see. Years and years, man. I went to high school with that brother." Mama Jenkins said, "Dion is so right." He's talking about the incarceration part of it. Mama Jenkins said, "Put all that information in the chat." She said, not to be rude, but tell him to let us read his page, please. She's talking. It's just different lanes of conversation. I hear you, Mama Jenkins. Speaking of which, y'all see that there is a alleged new strand of COVID, right? That's supposed to be a mutation, and they're saying you're more subject to it if you've been vaccinated.
That's always been the case.
Or you naturally were immune to it, right? And they said there's only 1 case in the United States at this point, but there's some fear that this might come back in during the winter months. I just think it's ironic that they said you're more at threat if you were vaccinated. See, this goes all the way back to the conversations that we've had since this pandemic began and since it subsided and the vaccine came, and we said, what's in the needle? Everybody kept saying, what's in the needle? I ain't taking the jug. What's in the needle? Well, you eat flaming hot Cheetos and chicken McNuggets, but you won't take the shot. It just, and then especially once you add to the fact that you said that it doesn't prevent getting it or spreading it, I'm thinking, then what the fuck is the point of taking it? And so now you're saying, we noticed that there's been some people who've taken this vaccination who've had some heart attack, young fit athletes who were taking the vaccination, drop dead of heart attacks, and now you're coming with this little twist on it saying, and they were saying they were just about to update the shot, so now they're scared that the newest update is going to be ineffective. Did you see this, Braille, Kamar, Courtney, anybody? Did y'all see this?
I didn't see it, but shit, I ain't gotta see it. I've been saying this shit since the beginning. I've been posting shit. Like I told y'all, I spent 2 years in Facebook jail for posting information that is now common knowledge.
Okay.
About when they were saying get the shot, save a
I have
life.
something to
Like,
say.
how you save a life when it don't stop contraction or infection? You know, boom, Facebook jail. Wear a mask. These masks can't stop shit that's so many millicrons and microns small.
Exactly.
Then Fauci talk about one mask ain't sufficient. Like, man, this shit is the reality is cold and flu season coming up. So they gotta play on people's paranoia and fear again to fuck up some more shit. And then if I posted a video 2 years ago that showed that they said there were experts that said, hey, the jab is only focusing on this one variant. So what will happen is your body will become hypersensitive to that one variant and let all and any other variants just slip on past.
Okay.
And now here we go talking about they're more susceptible. You goddamn right, because you can't out God, man. You can't out God with no jab.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Y'all
Kamar.
remember people was out
hey,
here with 2 masks on, 3 masks on? Like people really had numerous masks on their face. Like
Dude, motherfuckers was in their own car by themselves with
they
a mask
still
on.
do. They
hey,
still do. You look over, got their damn mask up the
The
window.
mask is a symbol for the
hey,
secret
remember
of
I
the
told
jail.
you, they was trying to
Oh,
scare
Sharia law.
everybody into taking the jab.
What'd you say, Kamar?
Yeah, I was saying that in the beginning. They trying to scare everybody into taking it.
Yeah, the fear
You know,
mongering is
and
real.
then when it come, then they got people, they scaring motherfuckers into going back and getting another one. And another one and another one. Motherfuckers still getting shots.
And
Well, I say that you know our people are under assumption, but really it doesn't apply to them. It really doesn't. So if it doesn't apply and there's no way you can make it stick, then I say the people that are in jail now can be free and should be free if we all work as a kingdom. What I mean is, you know, like for evictions, you could put a no door process. That means, hey, I'm claiming the natural inheritance on the land, the natural resources, and the land. And doing that, you could put a lien on it. You know what I mean? Brother Polite talks about that. You could put a lien on it, right? And once you put a lien on it, you know, you claim your natural
why
inheritance
am
on
I
the
starting
land.
to feel like
You
you
don't
are a
deal with.
brother? You're a brother polite because, Rail, you just mentioned brother polite being. Is this
No. I
coincidental?
learned under
But
him. I
people
learned
used
under
to
him.
like
So I'm
Brother
part
Polite
about that
though.
room. I'm
He
part
used to
about
be
Uh,
Brother
Hey,
Polite
I'm
but
used
about
to
to
you
be
know
start
what
nice.
I'm
though?
gonna
He
read
Hey,
used to
that.
sound like he
I'm
was a
gonna tell
Malachi.
you though, Brother Polite
Master
is
teacher.
smart as a
That's Malachi
motherfucker
Z.
though.
he
He's
is.
Yes.
dumb as a motherfucker at the same time for doing what
Yes.
he did.
Okay. No,
Yeah, well,
I'm
I've
just
done
noticing that
everything.
Rail brought that up, and now this brother's on here, and he keeps saying what brother polite teaches. I'm not a follower of polite. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Oh,
I'm
you
not a
never
Nah,
follower.
but I'm
said
not
it.
either. I'm not
Uh,
so polite either. Don't get that twisted. I'm gonna follow Dr. Malachi Z. York, partner Bobby Anoon, my master teacher, and I'm a follower of Oma York, you know, his daughter. But that's it. I'm not a follower of Brother Polite. I was at one point as a student learning from him,
I'm
and
gonna
then
tell
I
you.
learned what I learned. I
Hey, I'm
learned
gonna
what
tell
I
you about
learned.
me.
I
I don't
see what's
follow
going on.
nobody. I learn
You
from
know what I
everybody.
mean? So what I'm saying is,
Good and bad.
for real, most people ain't gonna get it. But it's a cross, like a Rosicrucian. Like when you look at the word Christ or crisscross, you're looking at the word anointed, and it's dealing with like a oil. No funny, but if you look at Sesame Street that we all grew up off of, you'll see that that deals with the oil itself, and that they have a person on there, well, a character on there by the name of Count. He's a Dracula, but deals with Drake, dealing with the nine ether. So what I'm saying is, Brother Polite knew, like the Rosicrucians, how to rise on the cross or get over on the cross, meaning how to ask basically, because it's a question mark basically. It separates you from the goat. So what I'm saying is, like when Christ died, no funny, but when Christ died, he said, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Lama is a question of asking why, and Eli, meaning Elohim, is different God. So it means one means to arrest, one means to ascend. He's ascended. That's what I'm saying. And people aren't seeing that, yo, this planet is about to get more hectic and crazy. Like we say about vaccines, that's centipede for people about to become like lesser, like animals. That's why you're seeing IFA come about for stills and stuff like that. Because certain people are going to become like half goat, half man, just dealing with what they eat.
Right. Hold on. Let me get my chat room. Mama Jenkins says I don't follow his ass. I got common sense. Free Sean Moore. I want to let me get back. I want to keep this conversation central too. I appreciate your contribution on a higher level because I know what
Yeah,
you're
they did this
talking
to a lot of
about.
brothers.
I know what you're talking about,
Mhm.
but that's not this though. because this is centered around
Okay.
what's because we are taxpayers. Everybody on this show is an adult. We're taxpayers. We are what should be voters for people in this city. And I'm speaking on
Oh,
local. I'm speaking on local politics,
hold
right?
on, wait.
Go ahead, Courtney.
As we speak on voters, just to let y'all know, I went through this. I put in an application to go with this Justice Coalition to DC and do all this voter training. It's a fully paid trip to DC for 5 days. 5-star hotel. They give you some money to go
There's
spend.
a thing called a no detainers list.
So it was a lot of people that applied for this between 18 and 35. I went through the interviews. It was a lot of young college students. But your girl finna go to DC the 20th through the 24th. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Rights. You know what I'm saying? So just know I'm be over there parlaying. I'm be working, but I'm also be parlaying. And I think that's like the weekend, the Black Congressional Caucus or some shit. I saw Reuben Hopkins was gonna be there and other people gonna be there. So, woo-wee!
Courtney, you are becoming very mainstream. I think you're getting affiliated with the mainstream. I don't know. You're losing your underground edge. I feel like she's becoming commercialized. She's becoming a pop star, right? Like
man.
you're naming a bunch of name brand Negroes. I don't know of these men. I don't know of these people. I know not of them. I don't know them. But congratulations.
Just bring me back some mambo sauce.
Right, bring me. I was just gonna say, give me one of them chili dogs from that legendary restaurant out there.
Back some, I will. Y'all make sure y'all shoot it in the word mob group.
For sure.
What's the name of the restaurant? The restaurant that everybody eats at in DC. That brother would have known. Look, I didn't listen. I want to make a point too. I didn't want this brother was talking about something. I understand what he's talking about. I understand that there's people who teach on a level of understanding that's a little bit different. Kamar, you help me. You know what I'm talking about with this. This is but this is for Milwaukee. This show is for the foundational Black Americans in the city of Milwaukee. And the one thing I've promised myself that I will never do is talk above their head. So me knowing the people that listen to the show, knowing that that's not necessarily where they're, because we're talking about County Blues. We're talking about another public entity that we fund with our now elevated tax money, and it's dysfunctional, and people are losing their lives. And I think sometimes when you get down to the microbes and the atoms and the molecules and stuff, people lose sight of the whole deal and just kind of tune out. So I want to make sure. And if Outlaw Radio, if y'all want to know more about Polite and y'all want to know more about the brother who he was talking about, hit me up and say, let's get them on, and I'll bring them on and we can talk in that fashion. But we got to have the right conversations in the right room. Do that make sense, Kamar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more like a specialty class. You know what I'm saying? Because like he was dropping jewels, definitely dropping jewels, but to the average person, it would have sounded like that Charlie Brown talk type shit. Want. Because I that's what I do. I fucks with Taj Tariq Bey, you know what I'm saying, who talk about the Moors and natural law. Like basically he was just talking about natural law. How because we play by this game, we're subject to this game's rules type shit. Right. So that's all it was. But that's more so like the 5%, the 85%, and the 10% type shit. You can't. It's hard to have them 5% discussions with the 85%,
right?
Motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
He was dropping. But we kind of represent the 85% though. I feel like on a lot of levels, my show represents the 85%.
Right, to inform them. So these conversations would have been more 5% talk. The master class type shit.
Absolutely.
But he was dropping jewels, and I would love to build with the brother. Like, I would love to have discussions. Yes. Like, that's the shit I talk about.
Yeah, that has to be something that's executed. It's not
it's more like a master class type shit.
He said he's a 100%. Mama Jenkins said, I appreciate the teaching and I thank him for his message.
Yeah, it was true.
But I got lost in the shuffle. Yes, I would like to know more. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would. Listen, the one thing about us is we have a natural thirst for knowledge, but sometimes we got to make that knowledge palpable. Like it has to be like I have to wrap certain messages up on this show in humor sometimes, and sometimes in sarcasm, and sometimes in jest, because that reaches more people. There's more antennas up for that than for me to get really academic.
Yeah.
Okay, because I could really speak very academically, right? Just because of all of the different kind of schooling I done had, right? So I'm not bragging. I'm saying I could come on here and do that, but I choose to speak the language of my people so that they can understand, and hopefully it'll get their brains kicked off. So eventually they can have that conversation with that brother. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? A lot of brothers ain't really, they're not ready to compute that. Their
Right.
computers ain't computing that. He says not 85% or 5%, bro. I'm not under that teaching. I'm speaking on law and your DNA, deeds, and actions. I
Right.
understand,
Right.
understand, and
Right.
understand
Maritime
you.
law and shit like that.
So, and sense of humor is cool. We got good brothers and sisters. Much love. Yes, sir.
For
This is
sure.
the one
Hey, I
thing.
want to know if he went through that process.
What process?
That's a good question. What
I
was
want
his
to know if
process?
he went with the guy that called in with all the information. I wonder if he did it.
Okay.
It's like that'd be my question. I'll be
if he did like the
yeah, I'll be with him when you know
when
when
they got
I'll
all
be with
kind
him.
of documents.
But my question be,
apply for your
hey,
nationalism.
but my
Here go
question
your
is,
passport and here go your Moor flag. Like
my
I mean,
question
it
is,
deep.
did you do it?
Yeah.
Right. I would love
Do
to see
you
if that
live it?
actually has
Right?
benefited somebody yet. You know what I'm saying?
That be my thing, and I ain't knocking nothing. You know what I mean? But see, I'm like this, right? I want a teacher to teach me that does what they teach.
Okay.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
No.
show me it worked.
Yeah. No, I would love to see that, especially if they
You know
get
what I
that
mean?
money
And
back
then
from
you got me all the way on board.
if they
You
get
know
that
what I'm
money back
saying?
from that birth certificate where they say you get like $1 million
Yeah.
trust.
I
and
mean,
shit.
I done dibbled and dabbed. I done dibbled and
Holla at me
dabbed
if
in a
you
lot
get
of
your
that
trust. You
information.
know what I'm saying?
Hey, I done dibbled and dabbed in a lot of that information years ago. You know what I'm saying?
It's
But my thing
intriguing and
was,
entertaining to me. So I fucked with it a lot, but I've never met anybody yet that say, hey, I got my millions from my trust and I'm out here not paying bills and taxes because I'm
and
sovereign.
that's what I'm looking for. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I
what
mean?
I let me know how to not pay
what threw
bills
me
and
off. Because
taxes.
even back then, like I was going around asking people, talking about it, looking for them. Like I got homies that's with the Moors, you know what I mean, with the Moors community. You know what I mean? I'm on them. I'm like, who do you know? Tell me. You know what I mean? Show me. I want to talk to them. Or if you did it, if you got all this information, why ain't you there?
He said he's not. He said
you
he
know what I
doesn't
mean?
do.
So I don't knock nobody, but I just wonder, like,
he said he
because
doesn't
see,
do
like, look,
sovereignty. He said he's
I'm
an
in the
imperialist.
CMOS. Nigga, I do CMOS, right? I ain't gonna just teach you about it. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I could tell you about how it helped my life, different stuff, what I teach about. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can respect it more. That's all I'm saying. I ain't knocking nobody. I ain't saying nobody a lie. I believe that shit. I just want to know somebody who did it
show
so
me
they
how
can
I
walk
can
me
do
through
it.
it.
Like show me the way type
He
shit.
says Moors control the news. I'm Al Islam. Not funny, but I don't do Islam as law doctrine. I deal with it as my DNA, so I'm not sovereign. He said he's an imperialist.
Okay.
Well, I'm a Barnes, and I would love for Sean Moore to get free on Wednesday night. Outlaw Radio, County Blues. County jail is dysfunctional. We need to ask some crucial questions about the governance, and sometimes you just got to follow the drip, right? Like Robin Harris saying, "House Party, you got to follow the drip." So obviously, we have not, as a people, stepped on the right toes, because whatever the problem is, it's continuing, and it's obviously getting worse. When you see brothers in the county jail barricading themselves in the library, and they're saying that people got hurt, like I guess they ended up going in through a window to get extract these dudes, these brothers, and now they've all been charged, 27 of them, but it's all like obstructing the officer or something like that, and disorderly conduct. So, and I don't know what their game plan was to control the doors of the library and say we stay. I mean, do you really got to go in through the window and get them, or do you just sit there until somebody got a shit or piss? Right? Like, I mean, they're coming out. Like, I mean, now maybe they might use buckets at first or whatever, but then you say eventually they're gonna have to. It's the library and the county jail, and for people who've never been to my city, the county jail is in downtown Milwaukee. Like, literally, you're going nowhere, right? Like if you barricade yourself in the library, you're in there. But I think they were trying to make a point. I know that they weren't like this is the end game. They were trying to make a point. I'd like somebody who knows about the conditions of what's going on in the county to give me a call or to chime in the conversation.
So how long do people be actually? Because like thankfully in my 40 years I ain't never been. So how long do people be? Because they sit in county to wait to go to actual house of corrections or prison, right? Or do people sit in the county for years?
Sometimes it's like, okay, you could go to the county jail. Some people sit there in the county jail and go through court, but a lot of time, if it take a long time, they send you to the house of correction, and then every time it's your court date, they bring you back to court.
Okay.
Depending on how long, they're figuring you're gonna be.
Okay.
So you can sit in the house of correction and go back and forth to court, or you can sit in the county jail and go back and forth.
So the place that they're saying is the place that they're saying is bad for basically humans is the holding place.
The county jail.
The county jail is what we talking about right now.
And that's the place where folk get held, right? Until they go to
it's one of the places.
Okay. One of them, yeah. It could be they could hold you in either place. But the house of correction fucked up too.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I watched the motherfucker die in my dorm.
Damn.
Yeah, the motherfucker, and I'm telling you, he was in there telling the guards his heart hurt, his chest, my chest hurting. And then overnight, man, like around 2:30 in the morning, he died.
Man, my brother-in-law said the same shit. He said you could hear the dude dying in the next cell, and he kept hollering for the guards and shit. And he's still fucked up about that, man.
So there was actually a posting in the People's News Network about them being very short-staffed as well. I don't know how much this plays into it. That's why whenever I have a conversation about something like this and its policies and procedures, and there's organization agencies, county-run agencies, you got to really know how to navigate that, because you don't want to be blaming somebody for something that they're not, responsible for. If this starts with a staffing issue, you have to talk about that first.
That's usually what it is.
And if they're short-staffed, and so you say, well, now we have to initiate protocols that are unsafe for the prisoners, then a plan must be made immediately to address the short-staffedness. Right. Meaning, if you got to bring temps in, if you got to go do a contract with a security guard agency, you cannot jeopardize people's lives because you're short-staffed. That in itself is just immoral. I mean, we know we talk about the government is business. Ain't no morality. It's about, policies. But I'm just saying that's a flaw. Mama Jenkins said some people are in there for years in that other jail. And she said, Kamar, Sean was sick when I called you Sunday, right? And so that's what I said in the beginning of the show. One of the issues is that there's little to no proper medical care. Right?
The guards, they don't give a fuck when you tell them you sick. They tell you to go lay down. That's it.
There you go. I see you, Vaughn. I've been asking people to get you, man, to put us up on what's actually going on in the jail. I'm glad you finally happenstance up on my little lemonade stand on the side of the street.
Yeah, we threw up the bat signal.
Yeah, we threw up the bat signal for him to come in. I told you, like I said, if anybody out there can connect to him, hit the brother up. So shout out to y'all. I just like to know, because once again, it's taxpayers' money. And there's an election coming up, and somebody's ass should be taking the task for the shit. And so I just like to know who. I think it's kind of crazy to quote Obama now, but it was a fuck up in the beginning of his presidency. And he said, I just like to know whose ass to kick. I ain't saying it didn't happen. And so we like to know whose ass we need to be kicking to get these conditions straightened out. Mama Jenkins, once again, shout out to Lena Taylor, Senator Lena Taylor, for shooting Sean some AA, free Sean Moore.
Hey, look, dig this, right? Now that's the importance about having people that's up there like that be actually in the city, actually around the people. They know how to contact them. You know what I'm saying? The line right to her, direct line.
Right.
She need to be in some kind of office somewhere. She ought to be a judge.
Yeah. And shout out to Mama Jenkins for being about that business right away, lickety split. Like, hey, bang, bang, bang. And see, that's what I'm saying. People will criticize Lena, but when they need something, they'll call her. Right? They'll call her. People call her all the time. They'll talk shit about her, but they'll call her. He said, salute, brothers. We need to get y'all on Spotify podcast. Outlaw Radio is #1. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I agree that we do need to get on Spotify. I got a lot of stuff I need to do behind the scenes, man.
How you do that?
We'd have to talk about it because it's a number that I have to find, like a source code that I haven't been able to locate through StreamYard.
Okay.
So I haven't done it yet. Vaughn said, "All shit is too much going on in there." He said, "There's a meeting happening September 11th via the county that people need to be aware of and chime in on." There you go. Yeah, well, we need to know about that meeting because we want to push that date. We want to push that line on here. He said, as well as the Fifth Amendment, in the Constitution, slavery is abolished. Markel's still going on. He like, y'all ain't finna mute me. I'm gonna get my shit off. Dion said, bro, someone said that Obama smoked crack and had sex. I seen this dude talking about he paid Obama for sex when he did some stuff and Obama was blowing crack while it's crazy. Many. Crazy.
Damn, dog.
Right. It's wild. First the chef gets found in the retention pond and now he's smoking crack at the gay bar. Vaughn says 6 deaths in like 14 months. They just had a riot that involved like 27 inmates. I got guards and inmates reaching out to me. And that's what we was talking about. That's what I was saying. Like these brothers who barricaded themselves in the library.
They must have
just like to know specifically what the conditions are.
They was fed up, man.
Well, I'm saying like because they said and the news, if you look, I only get surface reports. I understand that. I don't have a man.
News ain't gonna tell it like it is.
I don't have Chris Johnson no more to really give me the inside diggy like I used to have. So like they said that it was just about time out of their cells and recreation. And I'm like, it's gotta be something more than that.
I'm sure it was.
Man, okay. I seen black dudes, white dudes. It was the Rainbow Coalition. When you
got them all together, it's some bullshit going on.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that is. He said he got inmates. He said he got guards and inmates reaching out. Interesting conversation. Well, if they're understaffed, I'm pretty sure the guards are under duress too, and I guess they're getting threatened. Allegedly, there's threats. There's a lot going on. That's why I chose to talk about it. This ain't no shallow issue. That's why I said we need to address this on Outlaw Radio because not enough people are speaking on it. That's why I said I saw Vaughn and I saw some other brothers who've spoken on this. I said let me join that and make sure Outlaw Radio represents that as well. Go ahead, Rail.
I was just gonna say, like lately, I've been just hearing about prison conditions, like from everywhere. Like I love podcasts and documentaries, and a comedian that I like a lot is Ali Sadiq, and he talks about just the fact that now this is a Texas dude, right? But he be saying the same shit that we be saying in Wisconsin. He like, dog, when I was behind them bars, I didn't know if I was coming home. He said, I didn't know if an inmate was going to kill me or a guard was going to kill me. He was like, you in some small ass town where the whole family worked for the prison. He was like, so if you fuck around and get into it with the son on first shift, the daddy is a sergeant on second shift. The mama is on third shift. He like, so you damn near battling a whole family because they all work for the prison. So, that's Ali Sadiq. Y'all should check him out. But that's then, the dude, the brother that they made the Booty Warrior character from, Fleece Johnson, he's out now. So there's a lot of interviews with him just telling the shit about how they had him in a hole strapped to his bed, butt-ass naked. He was like, it got like 110 degrees in the hole. He tied to the bed. He was like, he fell asleep because that's all he could do was go to sleep to kind of escape the torment. He said he woke up because he felt something moving in the crack of his ass. It was like 100 flies. Yeah, he said he couldn't do shit about it because he shackled to the bed. So when you hear about conditions like that, man, this sounds
let's make sure this is Fleece Johnson, not somebody that's locked in the Milwaukee County jail.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying this Fleece Johnson saying this shit.
Oh, but the Booty Warrior.
The comparison, because Fleece was in the fuck.
He was in Kentucky, wasn't he?
He from Kentucky, but they sent him. Like they send people like a mother. Like My people that went to jail up here ended up in Oklahoma. You know.
Yeah, depending on like it depends. If it's the feds, you could go anywhere in the country.
They'll send you wherever the fuck.
Right.
But everywhere it sounds like horrid ass conditions. And again, I understand some of these motherfuckers might have violated the law, but they still humans.
I'm kind of with Fleece Johnson getting mistreated if he the type of dude that'll take somebody's booty though.
He said he ain't never raped a motherfucker like that. Like,
well, that's not what he said in his statement.
Yeah, he out now.
He
out now.
He brought up that documentary too, and he said he said that shit because that was like kind of like a scared straight program. So he had to say like the wildest shit. He said, I ain't never took ass from anybody who ain't want to give it to me. He like they might have owed me a pack of smokes and chose to give it to me instead.
The fact that he openly engages in booty play makes me not respect his input on the conversation. Every time he opens his mouth, I smell booty.
I never been in there, so I can't down. I mean, he's straight now that he out type shit.
He's straight now that he's out. Oh, I mean,
he got a whole leg.
Hey, Fleece, how you doing? Hey. Come on, let's go. Let's go shoot some hoops, right?
Like he still ain't got his teeth and shit. They said it's illegal for him to get his teeth because he done bit motherfuckers' noses off in prison.
Yeah. Markel, he said the brother from DC, Maryland. He said, "Proud love from up above, y'all. I'm gone. Bad boy killer, Fed killer, KKK killer, Jehovah Witness protection killer, goat killer, outlaws. Yes, sir. All right, brother. All
peace,
God. All right. Peace. Vaughn is chiming in on some of the conditions. He said the conditions are they locking them down 23 hours a day, no access to phones and privileges, assaults by guards, them blocking grievances, cleanliness. They got people with mental issues throwing feces and urine around, and they leave the cell shitty. Cells being flooded. You mentioned the bad medical service. The library thing was a protest to bring attention to all of that. That's the clarity that I was looking for. Shout out to Vaughn. That's the clarity. Because I said, I know they briefly touched on it on what I was able to find. They didn't include all of the feces and the urine and the mental health. That's what I was saying. I knew it had to be more than just, we're not getting enough recreation time. That's why I said that. But that brings a lot of light and clarity to it. My brother, thank you. Appreciate you. He said, don't forget to follow Umakar, York, peace, easy, y'all, brothers. And I am my family's keeper. Yes, I am. I keep my family house and love on earth operating correctly and properly. My brother.
Peace.
Rock with you. Mama Jenkins said, my grandson is a sheriff, and we talk about this all the time. It's a lot of shit happening down there. As soon as Sean hit the ground, it's going to be on for that damn jail. Okay. That's what it's about. Discovering it. Shout out to Shaquila. She said, oh my, not a shitty conversation. Yeah, I'm not fucking with Fleece Johnson. I'm cool on Fleece. I don't care if he did it for Scared Straight. He gets the Academy Award. He was too convincing in his role. I don't want no part. If you move in, I'm moving out. Earl said, I'm not gay, but the last 10 years in jail don't count. Okay, I'm not gay, but the last 10 years in jail don't count.
Is that what Fleece said? Or
I don't know. That's what Earl is saying. I'm wondering how he's adding it to the conversation.
Just joking.
I hope so. I can't really get context all the time when I'm just reading, the chat room. Vaughn said, no, the fuck he ain't. That man doing podcast saying he missed and still want booty.
God damn it.
That's what I'm saying, Rail. I'm not going for the banana in my tailpipe, no pun intended, with Fleece Johnson. We're never going to lean on Fleece Johnson to tell us about how inhumane the conditions in the prison were. He was part of the inhumane treatment. I'm cool on Fleece. Now listen, I see people in this thing that we do with this content creation. They do a lot of stuff for views. And I've sometimes watched and said, man, maybe we should jump the shark one time and try to get a bunch of views. But I never can really bring myself to do it. But shout out to you if you bringing Fleece Johnson on so you can get views. You really love this game. You want in. I don't want in that bad. I'm cool. I don't want to have a conversation with him at all. Vaughn said the guards and jail downplay every time it's BS happening in there. The details gonna come from the inmates and their families. Shout out to Lena C. Taylor and Ryan Clancy for being up on the jail stuff. Man, anybody that's out there, if you up on it, that's what I'm saying. I don't have to know everything. I'm cool with that. I'm not what's his name? The dude who started what's the one that get all the celebrities? Harvey Levin. TMZ. I don't want to be Harvey Levin. I don't want to know everything. But I love Outlaw Radio because there's people out there who rock with us that'll let us know and bring clarity to the masses, and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's dope.
Shaquila said, "Fuck them views." I'm just saying, yeah. I'm learning that as well too, because it's that classic thing of all money ain't good money, and sometimes all attention ain't warranted, and sometimes you get your ass in water so hot that money can't get you out of it. He said, "Nah, I meant like they are my go-tos anytime something is happening in the jail specifically." No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. No, I totally get what you're saying. I get you, Ron. It's good to have people who will keep that. That's what I'm saying. It should be a steady flowing network of information, just like they provided that information to you, and you able to enlighten a lot of other people, such as the Outlaw family. So I'm greatly appreciative of it. Peace and love to you. Earl Henny said it's a joke. You did 10 years, you fucked the man, you gay. The man you fucked, not me. He said he was talking about Mr. Johnson. Okay, yeah, I'm not, yeah. Earl, I knew it wasn't applying to I knew it wasn't like you wasn't, coming out or nothing. No, I'm already. You know what I mean? I remember the time, Kamar, we did the joke about, I said, I bet you, how many views could I get if we did an episode where I said I was coming out on the show tonight? Remember that shit? And people ran with the shit like, yeah, man, you got something to tell us? Like, I'm like, dog,
What you got to say?
it's a joke on the show. It's a joke on the show. Mama Jenkins, you're right. There we go. When I start talking about accountability, we want to know who's ass to kick. She said, I want to hear from David Crowley since he's the county executive. Okay, Mr. Leader, right? I like to hear too. I'm like Mama Jenkins. Here's your chance as a leader, as a Black elected official, to step up and say, hey, I got my people on this ASAP. And Joe Clark said expeditiously.
Hey, but the problem is, hey, look, and that's like I said, you can't call him.
Right. Well, I'm sure his phone line is lit up though.
So, hold on. So does that mean he's for the people?
I feel like you're starting shit on one hand, but I'm asking myself the same thing.
I'm just asking real questions. That's all.
Right. You
start some shit. Hey, they can get what they want to get out of it. They can get what they want to get out of
it. Hey. That's the beauty of it, right? But what's the disclaimer? The disclaimer on Outlaw Radio is...
I forgot how it go, Kev. You got to say it again. We ain't said it in so long.
Was the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at. Know who to be mad at, right?
Yeah. Right. So I'm just asking questions. You know what I mean?
No problem, no doubt.
I feel like if you're a leader in the community, the community need to be able to reach you.
And we want to hear from you.
Like, how can we tell you? How can we tell you it's a problem?
Well, but Mama Jenkins is putting pain where it ain't.
Yeah,
we want to hear what you got to say. Come on, you quick with all the other shit. You was on the money with that tax increase. Hey,
how come the news on TV, Channel 4 and shit they ain't got to call his people and email him to see if he could come show up?
Yeah. My brother said there's a meeting coming up. I feel like he need to be at this meeting. He need to be there.
Like we should be able to summons this dude. Like, man, listen, man, we need to talk to you.
Right. This is what that black vote was for.
Yeah.
Mama Jenkins said he hasn't said shit about the lockdown or what needs to happen. I'm writing letters. Okay. I'm putting letters together, trying to use words. And I want everybody else out there, man. This is where we can wrap our fist around this thing, man. And people say, well, what are we gonna do in Milwaukee? Well, this is where it starts at the awareness of, listen, man, you asking for money for this, you asking for money for that, you're asking for our vote, you're asking. At what point do you start to give and contribute?
Right.
How is this even possible? Well, first of all, let me say that every leader who's a foundational Black American that's elected, anytime we start talking about what's happening in the correction system, we're disproportionately affected by it more than anybody else because who dominates the prison population. So this should always be something you're in tune with. Now, if he said, well, my bad, y'all, I just found out about this shit, I'm on it. I'd like for him to say that in the morning. He called WNOV, called Homer Blow, whoever, say, hey, I'm going to say this shit on Outlaw Radio, but I already had a plan put together. I had a press conference at 12. That's cool. As long as you do it. Long as you do it, that's all. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
talk about hollow words don't land around here. Campaign promises don't land around here. Political correctness does not land around here. You know what lands around here is the absolute motherfucking truth, right? My man who was talking about freedom earlier, I picked up what he was putting down when he said, you can talk like you're free or you can act like you're free,
Right.
right? And my thing is, when I to say act like you're free means to exercise free will and make decisions that are informed and intentional as opposed to reckless and dysfunctional. That's my kind of perspective on what that means. Let's see. I got some people in the chat room. Deacon Mikey Davis said, I'm waiting to hear what the fuck he has to say. Also, shout out to my brother Ryan Clancy. Vaughn just shouted you out. He said the public review of the sheriff's office and jail takes place in front of the Judiciary Committee on Saturday, September 11th at 1:30 p.m. in room 203R at the courthouse. You can also give testimony virtually by registering at milwaukee.gov testify. Everybody who's listening to this show right now, please get this information down, especially if this is an issue that you're concerned about. There's a public review of the office and the jail, right, in front of the Judiciary Committee, September 11th, okay? Gives you the room and everything. Love it. Thank you, my brother Ryan Clancy. Shout out to you, man. I need to copy and paste this so we can promote this in the People's News Network. If I have to come back to these comments and get this, I'm gonna put this in the People's News Network because people need to know about this. Earl said a city with mostly black people in charge, we still getting shit in the deal. Yeah, the Black 7, right? Everybody was black. It's supposed to be a better day. We had Obama 0.2. First elected African American mayor we've ever had. And I don't know that. I thought he had 2 years. Don't we got an election coming up? Brother. They say, Kev, that city, talking about county. Well, we got enough bullshit going on in the city too. Because guess what, y'all? The shootings haven't stopped. The violence hasn't stopped. The stabbings haven't stopped. I mean, he had a hot weekend, literally and figuratively. Mama Jenkins said all the main offices of leadership is black in Milwaukee, and just look at the condition of this city. It's something to take a very good look at. And I'm one of them black people who cheers for black people no matter what. I don't give a damn what contest it is. I'm gonna be cheering for the black dude. It could be a rock throwing contest. I'd be like, I hope the black dude win. But all skin folk ain't kin folk, right? And we know some people are placed in positions by people who have their own interests at heart, right? Big money, lobbyists, right? Special interest groups. So when I say we got all these black officials, but I haven't seen anything groundbreaking. And it, once again, it's one of those things that we say on Outlaw Radio. If you know more than me regarding this, please call in or jump in the chat room. I haven't seen anything groundbreaking leadership wise that I felt like is going to change the inevitable gentrification or even curb it a little bit, because I haven't seen any economic strategies that have been in place. He says you can also make statements online. This is Vaughn. Prior to the meeting, they need people to come forward about the issues and conditions on record with the county so they can put pressure on the sheriff's office and jail with the proper information. We definitely got to get that out there, y'all. We definitely got to get that information. Once again, let me go back and put this back up so people who just might be chiming in or tuning in can see this from the brother Ryan Clancy. The public review of the sheriff's office and jail takes place in front of the Judiciary Committee on September 11th at 1:30 p.m. in room 203R at the courthouse. You can also give testimony virtually. For y'all, I ain't going down there, ain't nowhere to park. You can do it virtually at milwaukee.gov /testify. Okay, we got to get that information out here, y'all. Mariah Johnson, how you doing, family? What's good on a Wednesday night? She said, Deborah Jenkins Simmons, you're absolutely right. Mama Jenkins is always right. What you talking about? Deacon Mikey Davis, he said, I didn't expect to change when they put these Negroes in the positions anyways. You know what? A lot of us didn't. And what I had to do on Outlaw Radio, and once again, I know you always say, he always asking Kamar something. That's because Kamar has been with Outlaw Radio for a minute, right? And we got a lot of shows we've done. But Kamar, remember when the mayor was elected, and I came on and I said, there's a lot negative I could say, but the fact of the matter is, here's a black man who got a job where there's never been a black man before. Now let's wait and see if he's ineffective. And if it's bullshit down the line, then that's what we'll call it. And right now, it's looking rather bullshitish, right? It's looking kind of shaky. Uh, 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 uh,
Definitely.
Mama Jenkins said that's why I would be writing my letters to the county. Okay, okay. The spirit of activism, man, is it's great. But what's that thing we used to say? Activism without activity is a fruitless pursuit. So you can be a barbershop genius. I done ran into some real righteous brothers in the barbershop that I've never seen nowhere else on the front lines of the community. I'm not gonna say their names. Even when I was knee deep in this thing with grassroots organizing, I would go to the barbershop and I would see brothers who were dressed apart and were talking apart. And I'd be saying, I ain't never not seen your ass nowhere. Not a nan meeting, protest,
Mhm.
nothing. That don't mean they wasn't doing something from where they were at. I'm just
Mhm.
saying. If we're gonna start talking about, hey, this is bad and this needs to change, then we got to be the agents of said change. I really believe that. Like if you just talking about it, but you're not doing shit about it. I mean, some of us ain't even doing the things in our household that could make like being better parents or being better members of the community. There is such a thing as being a positive member of the community, like keeping your yard clean, keeping your grass cut, making sure your house don't look like shit, trying to be, if you got kids, having some structure for them. You can't have kids running wild all over the place. Those are things you can do to contribute to your neighborhood and community to make this a better city too. So some of y'all who just like on fuck it mode, I hear you. I see you turning up with bottles. I see you doing your thing, but I'm saying, bruh, get out the way, right? Like those are those people that Marcus Garvey said was gonna get left behind when the boat sailed. Check it out. Go look it up. He said that, right? Not those exact words. She said she'll be writing her letters to the county. I had to take a moment, and once again, y'all, let's make sure we push this about this meeting. And I will be glad when I can talk to my brother Sean Moore. Free Sean Moore, free Sean Moore. I'm gonna get this apparel together. I'm gonna get this up. I hope y'all support. I gotta get it because I have to design it and we gotta make it. So it's not you can't have it in the morning. Okay, it's a process, but I'm gonna do this as fast as I possibly can. So we can just let the brother know. And by the way, any money that you spend on the shirt will go to Sean Moore's family, not me. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not trying to make no money off of it. I want to get it out here and show my brother that we appreciate what he's done and his sacrifice for the community. Um, yeah. So when I get those up, it won't be money for me. I'm gonna give it to the family. I know he has a family. We all, and you don't mind being gone, but you always just hope somebody is looking out for your family while you gone. And a lot of times you come home and that's not the case, right? You come home and you realize, man, ain't nobody looked out for my people. And so I don't want that to be that way. I know this is the brothers, our family, our neighborhood family is looking out for Sean too. So he got a lot of love, man, but still we need to keep riding, man. You gotta stay on it till the wheels fall off. Mama Jenkins said he's running again, kick his fundraising off this week at the Ox on Hampton. He's begging for donations. Check out the place. He's having it hanging with the Hmong community. Yes, yeah, because you know what? That's near and dear. That's near my neighborhood where I live. And it's a very strong Hmong community. Very strong. They got the Hmong Academy of the Hapa Hmong American Peace Academy right here. Used to be Old Morris Middle School. Huge, revamped it, redone the whole thing. Got a soccer stadium up now, turf, everything. Got a grocery store. They own a lot of property over here. Yeah, Chevy jumped right down with them, right? Trying to get them trying to get them votes, man. Yeah. And see, black people need to know this. What I just say, right? Like, yeah, you ask us for our votes, but when you get elected, who are you actually catering to? A lot of us get surprised when we find out it ain't us, but you shouldn't be surprised because we don't do enough as a community, to hold them accountable. That's just my personal opinion. 262-202-5131. Y'all hit us up. Hashtag free Sean Moore, Outlaw Radio, County Blues on a Wednesday night. Got the Wish Doctor, got the hip hop hippie in the building, right? Mr. Relly Cantone. I'm trying to think all his names. Fonzarelli, right? Relsenio Hall. He's with us, man. Getting it in tonight. Shout out to you if you've called. Shout out to Vaughn Mays. Shout out to all of y'all, man. I really appreciate the support. I want to take a second to talk about Deion Sanders because I've watched Deion. I've watched his whole thing, right? I'm a football guy, but football saved my life. I have to, be honest. I wasn't for football. I don't know where this thing would be at right now. And so football is always, and I coached because it was a way for me to mentor young brothers. I'm happy to say some brothers who I coached took advantage of it. Were able to go to school and get a degree and change the dynamic of their family, master's degrees. Brothers who have told me, Coach Barnes, I would have never even thought I was going to be able to play on the next level until I met you. And so I'm appreciative of that, right? So I watch Deion, and as a father with his sons, I watch Deion, right? As a fan of, professional football, I can't say I'm a fan of just one particular man. I'm a supporter, but I'm a fan of professional football in itself, meaning the greatest football players in the world competing against each other week in and week out. So I watch Deion. I rock with Deion. His transition through Jackson State and up to Colorado, right? And right now, Deion said something that was very, very pivotal. He said, when they see a black man who's confident, who's self-assured, who is serious, who's focused, it's a scary thing, right? And these people are looking at this brother possibly, and I'm not gonna even say possibly. Now I'm gonna say the game will never be the same. The college football game will never be the same because I think Deion has brought empowerment to black players. And people say, well, how, Kevin? Well, here's a brother who puts an emphasis on doing for self, doing for us first. No ass kissing, no boot licking, no code switching, and telling you this is what I'm doing with these young brothers. And this is what we're going to prove to you. This is all, he speaks all definite statements, right? And you can just see the white people cringing when he's able to go and get the number one recruit out of their parents' home and say, no, don't go to Florida State. And Travis Hunter was the number one player in the country, and he went to Jackson State with him, right? And so he took a boatload of HBCU players who they say a lot of times are inferior to, the big boys.
Hey, now you got two HBCU players that's possible Heisman Trophy candidates.
Same game.
After one game.
Right. Yes. Now here's the thing. Okay, Mama Jenkins, she said I watched the whole game, all eyes on Deion. What I hope Deion is doing, and this is because there's NIL money involved right now. This thing is the problem is that for so long, major college football has gotten away with just straight up fucking pimping and slavery. Pro football too. This is a situation where a large percentage of the athletes are men of color. But when it comes to ownership or administration, they represent a very small portion. And this has been going on forever. NFL, college football, college sports, period. But here's Deion, coming in saying, okay, with these NIL deals and these kids really need to go. If you're here to play football, this is where you need to go. But I hope he's putting the emphasis on education. Because all of those kids who play for him are not going to be first-round draft picks. They're not going to be Heisman Trophy winners. A lot of them will just benefit character-wise from being around him. They could be great coaches. They could be great executives. They could be great citizens in the community, great husbands, great fathers, if he's letting them know, yes, this football game is important, but you're going to, sooner or later, you're going to have to be a man, not an athlete. If you're a father, you're gonna have to raise your kids. So I hope he's teaching them the importance of education and to say, hey, I might not go pro, but Coach Prime said I need to get my degree. Now, will Shador go on to finish? Probably not. It's looking like right now he's gonna be the NFL is gonna be like 100 million off top, so he's gonna be going. Perhaps maybe if this depend on how this year goes. Now, what I don't if there's injuries and things of that, and Dion don't win another game this year, I think his point was made right already, and I know he's gonna win more than one game, but I think they're looking to discredit him right now, and so I feel like we should just if you black, don't say that. And I seen Stephen A. Smith and everybody else just they're all saying, "Hey, no, this is incredible." So I'm glad. I'm glad to see that. I think it's incredible. I think it's a great thing to see. Earl Henning said it's a black man running the plantation or working for the plantation owner. I guess I didn't want to put that in there. Like like it's still kind of like okay, Dion, yeah, good job with all those niggers.
Hey, how about this? What else is he supposed to do? You know
Right,
what I mean? He working on his legacy.
right,
His
and
like, and how much better can you work on your legacy than hands on with your kids?
And Kamar, once again, I preface this by saying, I was a college athlete, right? And it saved my life because heaven knows there was no college for Kevin Barnes had there not been football. Okay.
Right.
So the thing would be is, okay, well, for a lot of these brothers, it's all they have. And so
Right.
why not,
Exactly. Why not do it? You know what I
okay,
mean? Everybody ain't gonna be business owners. Everybody ain't gonna get the best jobs. But shit, I could throw the hell out of a motherfucking football, or
right.
I could teach a kid how to catch or get a fucking interception from the best quarter. You know what I mean? So why shouldn't I do that
Yeah.
and get that bag for my family?
I still right.
But
No,
and we all understand that is like a whole slave type of demonstration. We understand that.
it
But you
is.
know what
It
I
is.
mean? Like some would say just working a regular job is too. So it's like
Yeah.
working a job. Shit. I mean,
You got to do what you got
we
to do.
here, like my man's just said, we ain't free like we think we is.
Right. He was listen, that brother was on. I totally understood what he meant, but
Right,
it's sometimes your execution is way more important
right.
than your education. You feel me? Like I
Mm-hmm.
think, I think and I didn't want I know people in Milwaukee. I know my people. And I know people in Milwaukee be like, man, what the fuck? Man, I thought they were gonna be talking about Sean Moore in there, man. You tell me ain't no niggas on here arguing tonight. We niggas on here talking about brother polite. I'm out. Right. But it's room for all of us at the table. But just, we gotta know our, our rooms. Dion said, I'm sorry, Eagle Eye said, Dion teach you how to be a man, not just a player. I respect him a lot. Dion
Right,
he could have fallen victim to so many different ills as a pro football player that you just didn't see him catch. You didn't see him catch the DUI, you didn't see him catch the DV, you didn't see him catch the dope case. I've heard brothers say the man absolutely did not drink and did not even curse during his playing
right,
days. So this is a brother that we need to be, kind of get mobilized and polarized by saying, man, okay, because even me as a coach, if I was able to ever coach again, I would, because it's the same mentality that I had when I coached. And not that I was on his level, but I was always about investing in the kid and trying to do character building. I wasn't really trying to make a killer football player. I was trying to create some character within a young man. And a lot of them came from, inner city single mother, ghetto hood backgrounds, and just to watch them get into they say the process is sweet, and I enjoyed it. Mama Jenkins said, "Do like Big Shaq, go get that money and go back to school after you get that money." I went to Briggs and Stratton went to work at Briggs and Stratton for 32 years and went back and got my degree after getting that pension. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad I got mine and they paid for it. Well, the bachelor's I did. They offered. I took it. Courtney Kelly said, shout out to Courtney Kelly. Man, my generals just be up and through here. And the sad part is when I went to King, nobody even liked me. Right. Courtney was always cool. Courtney was always cool. She said, yes, there is more after football. I hope Coach Dion and others will prepare them for it. I love prime time. He said that his goal was to coach in the college arena. He's doing it. Get your money, live your dream. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's cool for these kids to be in the moment because I'm trying to tell you, there is nothing like that whole experience, man. I couldn't even imagine if I didn't get to experience that whole, and I wasn't at Colorado or nothing like that, but it was beautiful. I met my wife in college, right? Like, and so it changed my life. It changed my family's life. It changed our trajectory. So I say, yeah, I do understand it's important for them to have that experience, but they need to know, even if you play pro football for 15 to 20 years, By the time you're 35, 40, now it's time for the rest of your life. And that requires for you to have some understanding of life and how to I gotta go to work. Now I have to have a business. Now I have to raise my family. Now I have to deal with whatever circumstances I created while I was on the road getting money, playing football, not giving a damn. I mean, eventually you're gonna be a regular Joe at some point in your life. You're gonna have to live because believe me, it don't matter how many records you break on the field. Go commit a crime and think that shit finna save you, unless you OJ, right? Okay. Jay-Z said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Okay.
She said, stop. Come on now. They voted me most likely to be institutionalized by age 30, right? I was a real popular guy. Shout out to Deion Sanders, though, man. I'm supporting. I always liked Colorado when McCartney was back in the days when they had Darian Hagan, a black quarterback, and Cordell Stewart. But I'm a football guy, so I've always rocked with Colorado. And they were trash.
Rashawn Salam. Remember Rashawn Salam?
Rashawn Salam, yes, sir. Man, it's
He was a shit in
Westbrook.
college.
So many great players came out of Colorado. Eric Bieniemy, who's an assistant coach in NFL right now. It's so many of them that brothers who got a shot and came up out of there. Deion Figures, who was one of my favorite players. They call him Six Figures. He was a cornerback back in the days. A lot of Colorado players, man. But yeah, so it's all about character building. That's why I tell people when you look for somebody to coach your son in youth sports, it's cool to put him in with, we're gonna be on this elite team with all the greatest players together. They're gonna be on the same team. We finna win a championship. Sometimes we need to look at the individuals who are coaching the team or who are running that organization and say, is that really what I want my son around for the next few years? Like, cause you put him around the wrong people. And all kinds of different stuff can happen. And he probably wouldn't understand early on because my son has played sports ever since he was a youngster. And I've always been very, very, very vigilant and diligent about who coached him. I couldn't have him around the wrong element. I just couldn't. And I know it when I see it. I know a clown coach when I see it. You out there with your all Madden playbook. You've been playing that video game. You think you can coach. You don't know X's and O's from G.I. Joe's, right? So you got to be able to teach kids fundamentals. It's a whole process. So shout out to Deion, man. I'm glad to see a black man succeeding. What else we got? Look, this was something too that I found very funny. And it's still free Sean Moore all night, y'all. And we still got a little time. So if you want to call in and shout out Sean, if you got something positive or progressive you're promoting in the community, bang the line 262-202-5131. Or if we spoke about anything tonight that kind of sparked you and you want to jump in, feel free to call in or go in the chat room. I seen this thing about Holly Berry and does she have two children? She has one child by this white dude, or does she have two white babies by two white dudes? I know she's divorced from either of them. Because the conversation about interracial relationships, and people say, well, Holly Berry's half white, but she is looked upon as a black woman, right? And so she has this child by this Canadian model guy, and this white dude, and so they've been divorced for a while. And I guess the stories that I see, they're saying he does all this kind of crazy stuff to her daughter to keep her from really identifying with whatever part of her is black, and her skin is an issue for him, but he's won child support from Holly Berry, and she has to pay him like $8,000 a month. And so she's like, well, it's hard for me to pay child support to somebody who refers to me as a nigger, somebody who has always been treating me very racist and this kind of thing. And I'm just kind of looking at it like,
her fault. Her fault.
Yeah, I want to be sensitive to the fact that it's a child involved, but damn, how can you?
Well, no, the child is okay. It's her mad because she got to pay child support to somebody that call her a nigga. That's her fault. He been calling her that. He done called her that a long time ago. He chose to stick around that shit. She chose to have this child with this man. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand, and that's what I'm saying. Because we're always talking about.
And if you in a situation where they put child support on you, you just in that situation. Shit, don't nobody give a fuck about niggas. who choose the wrong baby mama and wind up on child support.
Yeah, I'm sure some brothers out here who say, "Oh, he call you a nigga. My baby mama called me way worse shit than that, and I pay her plenty money a month per month." But I'm just saying, we're always talking about who's a bed wench, and who's an Uncle Tom in terms of brothers, and because you look at somebody like Jamie Foxx, and we support Jamie Foxx, we go see his movies and all this. Does Jamie Foxx even talk to black women at all anymore? It's that question where we start talking about brothers who we support or sisters who we support that want us to have their backs, but they don't have ours. I don't know. Does that say you not really down with the people if you marry a white man or a white woman? It's that question we get back to over and over again. But when I hear that story for Holly Berry, I've heard other black women say, "Well, I married this white dude, and then I found out that he was a really racist dude, and his family was racist, and he came from a racist place." And it's like, well, why the fuck you marry him? Were you that disgusted and disillusioned with brothers that you ran into the arms of a Klansman? What's the deal? What's going on with your mentals?
I mean, shit, in Holly Berry case, I mean, the niggas I know that she was fucking with, I mean, shit, wasn't she getting her ass whooped by one, and then the other one was a sex addict? So
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly. So
allegedly, right.
She probably like, fuck it. I'm 0 for 2 in the nigga
because
field.
White men would never whoop your ass or be sex addicts.
Okay, so was it okay? Was it okay for him to call her nigga if he never put her on child support?
Well, I guess she could take it as long as she wasn't paying him $8,000.
I mean, shit,
see what I'm saying? Like, come on.
I don't know when it became uncool with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, like maybe that's one of them words that's cool under certain conditions. Like sometimes you might be able to get away with calling a motherfucker a bitch in the bedroom, but not outside the bedroom. Maybe that was one of them things where she could be called a nigga in the bedroom, but not outside the bedroom. I do not know.
Richard Pryor's ex-wife said for a long time she thought her name was Hunky Bitch. Right.
Right.
Called her all the time. She said, I spent a long time just thinking my name was Hunky Bitch. Like, so
hey, look, now if they had a child and she wound up paying child support, you know what I mean? Her fault. She stayed there.
To me, the child support wasn't even it. I was just looking at it like, how many sisters are married to a white man who, when he gets mad, he
I don't even
off
really
like
consider
that.
her a sister. Like, honestly, like Holly Berry has never been like a black woman to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's never been a black woman to me. She's like, this may sound weird and shit, but I go based upon who your mama is. If your mama white, you white. Because I mean,
That's what the daddy. Hold on now. Wait a minute. Now you discount the power of black sperm, because whatever a black man done left Caribbeans and islanders and people like, all in his wake that's walking around right now with curly hair looking like Shabadoo and don't know why.
And if he was raised by a white mother in a predominantly Caucasian mindset household, then I look culturally, you're more European than, I mean, yeah, you got a tint to you, a little shade to you, but who is your mama? Who your mama? Did she do your hair right? Did she have to send you the motherfuckers to get your hair done?
It's some mixed people with black daddies ready to whoop your ass. Know who the fuck to be mad at, y'all. He said, I don't care. Shit, I'm real. Come see.
I just look at it like that. Shit, if you was white, like you see the difference. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to shit on nobody, because I know a lot of mixed people who actually said, yeah, I wasn't white enough for my white side, wasn't black enough for my black side. My mama didn't know how to do my hair, so she'd send me to school and the black kids would talk about me. So I've heard it, but that's just me. I've never really considered Holly Berry. I mean, I can't say a sister talking to a white man, because she probably was raised around all white people. Like, like The Rock type shit. Everybody know his daddy is black, but he was raised in the Samoan society. And he
still ended up marrying a white woman. I don't know where you're.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't consider The Rock black or half black.
You don't? His name is Dwayne.
He's a Samoan dude. In every movie he been in, he quick to do the fucking haka. He quick to pay homage to his Hawaiian Samoan side.
This is true.
You rarely hear him say, "Hey, my daddy a nigga." So in
And
his
rarely do
mind,
you
maybe he
rarely
ain't
see him
even that shit.
with a sister on his arm or when in the movies. Who's his leading ladies? You're right. You're right, Real. Good point. Good point.
Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel won't even tell you what the fuck his father is because he
All
ain't
right.
about to fuck up his roles.
All right. He never paid child support. He gets no love. Uh, Sharon Evans is agreeing with you. She said, "Word, Real. She ain't in the club." Mama Jenkins said she should have thought about that. He was calling her that while he was screwing her. She should
I
pay him her
told
whole
you.
damn
There
check.
you go.
I don't
Nigga
give a
bitch might
damn
have been
who's
hot
with
as fuck
who,
in the bedroom.
but you should know an asshole. I always think about those slave masters, how they used to beat a black woman ass and screw them. It's been something they've been doing. Sharon Evans said, "The Rock ain't black. We taking people black cards, y'all. Is that what we doing? Ain't Samoans black? There has to be some African. I don't know who. Anybody up on
Everybody black. I mean,
Everybody
like
black.
if
Got
everybody
you look
everybody
at
got
it,
they got melanin.
so if you look at
That's
it
why, real. I was
historically,
saying when you said that about the daddy, I'm like, now hold on, they done strewn us all over this planet on them boats that they was on. Everywhere they
yeah,
stopped, they created some barges.
they came from Polynesia to Samoa
Yeah,
to Fiji to Hawaii, and then once they got to Hawaii, some Japanese and shit got mixed in there and some white. But I mean, yeah, everybody from Africa by way of history, but I'm saying just culturally. Like, I don't know if Dwayne Johnson considered himself a black man. Every movie I ever seen where he could tell you his ethnicity, he in the hula thing doing the haka. And much respect to the
it's true.
Samoans.
He
Shit,
does
look,
pay
my
way more
motherfucking
homage.
tattoo is
He does
Samoan.
pay
So I
way
mean,
more homage to it. Yeah, he does.
so
He
I ain't
does.
shitting on the Samoans. You know, I got the tattoo on me and shit. You know, I fucks with them. But I'm saying, like, as far as certain people, I look at who your mama is. If your mama black, then you black.
Well, I'm good. Vaughn May said he's black, y'all, and he said, "LOL, all the island people are from Africa too. They just went through different
Right,
colonization."
right,
Right. Well,
right.
say everybody's black. Mike Kim at Big Mike, what did he do? He said Holly Berry can't act her way out of this one. She tried to make every man she married the problem. She is the damn problem.
Shit,
Okay.
wasn't she fucking with Wesley Snipes?
Well, Wesley and Dave Justice, they say Dave Justice is the one who slapped the black out of her, and she
And
went white
somebody
after that.
bust her
That was
eardrum,
a
didn't
horrible joke. Yeah, that was I know it was a horrible joke.
they?
Domestic violence is no joke, y'all. Vaughn said, but this is typical when we come up around other races aside from ourselves. We all have identity issues.
Right, right.
Mike says the Rock father is black as a mother. He
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Rocky
He named his
Johnson.
son Dwayne. There's no white dude named Dwayne. You never met a white dude named Dwayne. Sharon Evans said, "Real, that might be the twist. Maybe he's not calling her in, but reminding her she's a nigger." Listen, I mean, okay, so we take somebody like Serena Williams, who's happily steadily, Meghan Markle, who married the white dude, and she's mixing it. She said, "I can't believe the queen them was racist," and we was like, "Really? It's
Man, you
fucking
seen
England."
her? You seen Meghan Markle?
I seen her parents. Her mother's black though, real.
Her mama black?
Her mama's black. See,
Shit, she's still too light.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so now we
Hey,
put light. Now there
See,
we go. We
hey,
put light
look,
skinned
hey,
people
she
up
kid,
was
with
like
it.
an octoroon to me.
hey, I
You might
always
be an
said,
eighth of an eighth of an eighth.
hey,
Shit, but I don't know.
I always said this, right? I always said this. Since she married the white prince, she's black, right? This is how black people look at it. She's black. But you know what I mean? If she married a black man, she will be a white girl.
Right. Half breed. Right. Black
You know
people
what I'm
ain't
saying?
shit.
She wouldn't even be a half breed. Motherfuckers be calling her a white girl. Black
Black
women would be,
one
black
thing
women would be calling her a white girl.
one thing they're gonna do, black people gonna talk about your ass regardless. It
But
don't matter
now
if your
since
ass
she,
Yeah.
since she
navy
married the
blue.
prince, but since she married the prince in Britain, she's a black girl. They owning her.
Well, look at once again, look at Serena. Now she Compton. She's from Compton by way of Michigan. She blacker than black, but she's bouncing
Black
along with
people.
her white prince. And people say, "Yay, Serena!" And I'm like, "Is Serena a bad wench?"
Well, that's what I say.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't answering that. I ain't saying yeah to that. I ain't answering that question.
Like, I don't care who they fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying I don't care either. You know what I mean? But it's just how we look, how the black
I just
community
look
look
at it
at
if
shit like
if,
that.
if,
You
if
know
your
what I mean?
mama
Like
black.
she get a black woman to get championed if she married a white prince. You know what I mean?
My wife makes a point a lot of times when we're watching television and we watching commercials, and she'll say, "Have you noticed that there are very few black couples in these commercials. They're always biracial. Like
Mixed and
they
always
are
shit.
a
Yeah,
selling
black
us
yeah,
on this
with a
narrative
white man or an
to keep
Asian
us
man.
divided, right? And so that's why I
yeah.
say we have to. I don't tell people what to do because marry who you want to marry, man.
Right,
I
right, right.
look, I ain't listen. I'm just saying if we start talking about foundational black Americans and who we are and our culture and our DNA and our features, the melanin in our skin, our lips, our structure, the way our bodies fight off things that other people can't fight off. We the people of the sun. If we keep on allowing everybody into the gene pool, won't that kind of be watered down? And if you say, Kev, you don't even know what's in you,
Yeah,
right?
it's too
Okay.
late. We all watered down.
Well, I think we got to hold on to what we got, right? I think we need to hold on to what we got. Um, let me see. Let me see. Mama Jenkins said them damn kids is black. One drop, your kid come out with an afro, right? Earl Henning said, shout out to the people that didn't forget where they came from, black or white. Sharon Evans said, leave Serena alone. I do. The only thing was my point with Serena was when white people used to really just handle her rough. And she likes a man, she's a monkey, and black people was 100 grand for her. She was there was pictures of her in Black History with Black Panther uniforms on, and just black, 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 black. And then it was like, not so much, right? Like and maybe she fell in love. I wasn't there. I'm just saying I always look at that kind of like, I don't know. I got some partners who married to white women and they still real dudes. I'm not saying you can't be, you don't get to come to the cookout. Just don't let her make the potato salad. Unless you got one of them white women who can really get down. You know what I mean? Her shit might be the shit like, who fried this chicken?
Could
Becky.
be.
Damn, Becky.
Could be.
I'm from Kentucky. Oh shit. Okay. Courtney 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 says Serena's face is giving white chicks the movie.
Oh
Serena
damn.
be Serena be all over the place cosmetically. But I'm just saying. And I was looking at her sister, and at one point, her sister had never. All she was doing was white men. I'm like, you come from this strong black father, and all of this. How do we get? How do we get? I was looking at Barack Obama kids. Now
Ain't a different tax bracket, man.
Michelle is hood, Barack part African, and they wasn't on nothing but white boys for a minute. I'm like, we really don't love each other in public. Is it really not? Is that unpopular to show us black men and black women saying, hey, nah, we good with each other. We'll figure our shit out. Let
Yeah,
us
that's
work through our
unpopular.
shit the way y'all work through y'all's.
They can't have us getting along and treating each other with love and respect. That's how that's how nations are built. So they can't afford to show that shit.
Right.
They'll show you a commercial with an Asian husband and a black woman, though, or some shit like that.
And Eagle Eye said Angela Davis switched up too, and she was a Panther. Yeah, and if we start running down the list of what some former Panthers actually did later on, it starts to get kind of crazy. Yeah. So a lot of shout out to them because I could never disrespect the founders of the movement, but some of their behavior. I had a book, and I can't remember what the name of the book was. It was written by some young Jewish liberals who were like heavily just infatuated with the Panthers back in the days. And they got mixed up with the brother who was locked up, who they took to Marin City Hall, and his brother was trying to break him out of jail, and they ended up getting killed. And so he wrote the book, Soledad Brother. I don't know, I'm having a brain fart, but he wrote Soledad Brother. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to look into, and it's like that's what it turned into. It's crazy. So Angela Davis, that wouldn't surprise me. I actually thought she was a lesbian because a lot of sisters who were on that realm became lesbian. That black love button is true. That's what Earl said. Sharon said they're tennis pros. They are in whites arenas. But I mean, damn. If I had to work at a job all day around white people and I was the only brother there, to me the ultimate relief would be to come home to a sister, right? And be able to have my home be peaceful. And I don't know. Earl said I tried it for 19 years and I'm still not looking for a white woman. Okay. But if you've been looking a long time and your ass lonely and the only thing you can find as a white woman, get in where you fit in. Don't be on it, she ain't black. Yeah, listen, you gotta get with where you love that. But I just feel like black men and black women naturally should be together. And the only way to really fix what's ailing our community right now is the just fucked up nature of the black family structure. The only way to fix that is for us black men and black women to really get together and mend the fences. You say the good old days where there was no good old days for black people, but I think what we refer to is when the black family structure was still tight. How many of us still getting on the road going down south for the family reunion, meeting all your cousins and your aunties and them? That's gone. Getting together on Sunday at the church with Rem Jones over here for dinner and everybody come over and eat. That's the black shit I grew up on. And with my family, we don't even do that anymore. So
yeah, I don't even see I don't see my siblings and shit, but I mean they still cool, you know, we live different lives, you know. I don't want to bring my my weed and warlockism around them. You know, they still heavily in the church, so I respect that, and I let them be. You know, they know where.
And you know what? I got religious family, but they know Kev spark up when he want to spark up. He sip up when he want to sip up. And it is what it is. But I get you too, because I wouldn't want to bring, that ain't
right.
Why you just stay at your crib and do it? Why would I come over there? This what
I
I'm
don't
on.
want to bring my habits and infringe on their freedom. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I
Love you
enjoy
from
staying
over
at
here.
home where I can smoke when I want and look at what I want. Talk
I
about
love
what I
you
want.
from the west side. Leon Ho said, "Bull, you still got the CMOS. He must not know who he talking to. Dude, he is CMOS.
Yeah, that's my man. Yeah, I got it. Hey, I got a store at the Sherman Phoenix. I'm there from 11 to 7. We there from 11 to 7.
Yeah. Support this brother, man. Support this brother. Sharon Evans said the NBA and the NFL guys are see, that's another thing that I was kind of trying to lean towards. For some reason, the coincidence of when you are looked at as a successful black man in this country, the likelihood of you or woman, the likelihood of you being married to a white person increases, right? Like, because you say when somebody get famous, what they do, they go get a white woman. They get rich, they go get a white woman, right? They become a Republican, they go get a white woman. Joking around, but so we look at that as it's almost like a status symbol for us. It's a psychological. It's that indoctrination process to think white ice is colder. So there's a lot of brothers who are under the misconception that I can get way further in life with a white woman than I can with a black woman, and that's just not true. And the same thing for black women. Go ahead, Real.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, it comes with that media programming and shit. You know, like a lot of older cats I grew up around, you know, like I said, all my role models drove Lacs and Deuces. So, you know, that was a status symbol, Cadillacs and white women. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that was, you made it. You got your Lac and your white woman, you made it.
Ugh, that's crazy. Psychological, bro. Leon Ho said he coming to see you. Am I the only one? This is another thing we don't talk about because we don't get to pop culture a lot. And I see people breaking their necks. Am I the only one who don't give a fuck about going to a Beyonce concert? I don't understand why would I put in thousands of dollars to go and sit way up in this. I'm just not into the celebrity idolism. And I see people, and it's like, yeah, man, I went to the Beyonce concert, and they was like sitting way up on top of the arena, but just to be there and just to say, yeah, I got $1,200. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have $1,200 to go and see. There's no celebrity alive. Look, Tupac, they can say, look, Tupac ain't dead. He been in Cuba, and he doing his return concert at the Marcus Amphitheater, and it costs $800 to go. I would not go. I still would not go. And I'm not a concert dude either, but I see people with, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on with this Beyonce. I feel like people worship her like it's on another level. It's over just celebrity. Matter of fact, that movie, it was a great movie starring a young black sister. I forget her name. She's an actress called A Swarm. And you watch this movie, and it's kind of like about this young lady being very obsessive about this singer to the point where she's murdering people. Like she if they say something online bad about this singer, she stalks them, finds them, and kills them. It's on Netflix. I can't remember the young sister who was in. She's been in a bunch of movies,
The Little
man.
Mermaid girl, or
No, not her.
It's one of
This
the
sister was in like
Bailey, Chloe,
Transformers. She
something.
was in
Oh, okay.
I forget her name. I'll get her name. I forget her name. She's a
I
young
mean,
sister. She's
she
been in
got
a
a
lot of people's
whole
stuff.
cult following. Like there's the Bay Hive. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
gotta actually be careful what you say about Beyonce because there will be women and men alike moving on her behalf if they feel like you disrespected her. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
just felt like all the music she just made was like gay club music. Like it wasn't. I could see if this was like soul, like this was funk, this was R&B, like real pure. This is all like gay club music that I see, and I'm like, this.
because you know my lady listens to Beyonce, and yeah, this last album, I guess, like she said, I guess the complaint was both about Beyonce and Drake. I guess their albums sound similar, and I guess it was more so like dance music or house music. You know that shit like
Gay club music.
like.
So is
I
this what
wonder.
Barack? Is this what Barack was bumping while he was hitting the rock, and the white boy was peeling him off? I don't know.
I don't want to say that they the only ones that listen to it, but it is a lot of ballroom music. Like my lady loves the ballroom culture, and that is the dudes
That
that
ain't
be doing
ballroom music.
and all that crazy shit. You know, but she's
That's gay.
she's a fashion designer, so I don't know if you can see the little
Okay, I don't
outfit.
know who's the fashion designers though. We know who dominates that industry. I don't. Okay,
Right. So I'm saying
listen.
that whole culture is a cult following of Beyonce. Like she actually, I read somewhere that she had some tickets for people that were cheaper, that you could hear the music, you just couldn't see the screen or some shit like that. They were like kind of behind the stage for people who ain't got it like that, but still wanted the Beyonce experience. I guess she did provide an avenue for folk.
You know what? I'm cool. Listen, and well, once again, it's not for me. I understand that. I totally get
Right.
It's
That's a
not
whole
for
different
me.
culture.
The people say, man, it ain't for your ashy caveman ass. I get it. But when I see agendas being pushed, I have to call a spade, and I would say, you
Just
know,
gotta be careful with that Bay Hive, man.
I don't have to because it's easy for me to say. I mean, people say they can make your life hell. It's like not if I say fuck all y'all at the same time and then just never respond. I don't know. I'm not tripping on nobody saying I'm coming for you because you said you didn't want to go to the Beyonce concert. I'm not running. I'm not gonna tuck my tail for nobody because they in love with a celebrity. Fuck that.
Right.
I'm about real people and real shit. We ain't. Come on, man. I'd put that $1,200 into my 71 Monte Carlo if I had it to blow. I'd buy another strap.
See,
I put it in a savings account, an
I
interest-bearing
feel
savings
that.
account. Hell, I got a son getting ready to try to go to college. So many other things that. And if you got it, you got it. Shout out to you. I'm just saying I'm not with the whole dance club. You know, Wayne Brady. Yeah, I love everybody. He's gay. Is he gay? He just love the gay thing in America. No, he came out and said I'm pansexual and he just love everybody. It don't even matter. Just anybody can get it. I'm like,
Oh.
word, that's Fleece Johnson. That's Fleece. That's Fleece. I want you and I got to have you. Right? Sharon Eddy said I have a hair phobia, so I don't care if my kid or family marry them. They just can't come to my house. Wow.
Okay.
Well, you know, I used to go to school in North Dakota, so my mother used to say, hey, you better remember, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. Right? My mother was always adamant, like, listen, don't you go up there and do that. Like, it was a very crazy conversation I used to have with my mama about that. Mike Kimmon said most black NFL and NBA players are married to black women. Okay. I thought it was different, Mike. I thought it was the reverse. I thought most of them were married to white women because normally the ones you see, you know, he got a Beccarina on his arm. Leon, shout out to you. He said, keep the show going, fellas. Great job. Keep going and don't give up. Y'all time will come and there's more people watching y'all than y'all think. Shout out to you, Leon. Hey, man, I know about the sneak watchers. I ain't tripping. You know, listen, I'm glad Leon said that. Give it up for Leon, man. Give it up for Leon. This is a treat Kamar has to talk me out of often because I get pissed off. And I realize everybody in the city's trying to do podcasts. It's a fad. It's a trend. I get it. But we get passed over for a lot of stuff. People don't mention us when they should. And I know a lot of sneak listeners is watching and, you know,
I
taking
think
certain
he's saying that in a good light, though.
He is. That's why I said I give it up for him. No, I'm totally big up in him.
Right. No,
What he said.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like sneak listeners, right? Like, okay, people watching, they just don't chime in or nothing. They just don't say nothing. You know what I mean? That's a good thing too.
And then they go back and report, or then they go back and try to do the same shit. Listen, shout out to all of y'all. It's all good, but I appreciate Leon for saying that. I love encouragement, and I like the fact that he said it's more people watching us than we think.
That's why I was here.
That's poignant.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Evans said,
And
"What
it do
happened
seem
with
to be
that?"
more and more people whose names I ain't never seen popping up in these comments. So that show the growth and the progress.
I've been doing this shit a long time. That's all I'm gonna say. And I see a lot of fly by night cats come up, and shout out to them because I know it looks easy and everybody feel like they can do it, and they'll be here today and gone tomorrow. This shit been 9 years that we've been popping this shit. So I don't plan on stopping no time soon. It's all good. It's just a whole story. It's a whole process.
Don't
So
stop the body rock.
I just get it's like anything else. Even when I played sports, if I knew I was better at my position than somebody else and they got credit over me, I was pissed. As a competitor, I took it personally. I said, you know what? I'm gonna kick somebody ass this week because of that. And so most of the time when I get ready to do the show, that's how I be feeling like I'm kicking somebody ass this week. And you know, that's just how the show goes. So if you hear me come off sometimes as an asshole, it's intentional. Sometimes I'm just letting off steam. She said what happened with that. I remember sitting in the front row for the Def Jam tour for only $25. Yeah, this shit is on a whole other level with the prices. And they ain't giving a fuck about us being poor. Shit, they bring it to the storehouse. Earl Henning says no more than $40 to see anyone for me. I might put up 40 to see Morris Day and the Time. I might put up 40 to see.
You catch him free at Summerfest.
I know. I know. I might put up 40 to see Parliament or George Clinton or you know, or something like that. You know, what's my man name? Frankie Beverly and Mays, but not no 200, 300, 400, 500. No. We don't get that.
Yeah, I like going to see speakers. Like I really hate that I missed the opportunity to see 19 Keys when he was in Chicago, but I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna catch him one of these days.
That was a good one.
Kamar just seen him. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I did. Dang Dash was a good one.
I was like, yeah, that's dope as hell. I had to work the next day, and it was in like Chicago, and it wasn't over till like midnight or some shit.
No, it was on for earlier than that.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was on for about 10.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
So I was just making it home about midnight.
Shout out to Butt and his son, Terrell.
Yes, sir. Sharon Evans said, not married, cohabitating babies' mamas. Mama Jenkins said, I don't do none of that stuff no more. I watch the shit on TV. Basketball, football, concerts, movies, the shit costs too much. I'm not cheap, but those people got way more money than I do. I've paid enough in my day. I don't give a fuck who go. But as far as me, I like meat and bread. Eloquently put, right? Mike said they are married to black women overwhelmingly. Okay, well, shout out to them brothers, man.
That's
shout
dope.
out to them brothers. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's dope.
A good thing. That's a good thing. Because corporate brothers ain't doing that. We know that. Earl Henning said, well, we all know Michael Jordan went from black to white. I think he meant white. Yeah, Michael Jordan traded his in. You know, Eddie Murphy. You know, a lot of celebrities, but they're celebrities. Once again, they shouldn't be held to any kind of. That's why I say let's not worship them. That's why we shouldn't make idols out of them because they continuously prove to be human after all. I'm so glad that they finally defaced the Fonzie statue. But before I talk about that, Kamar, it's Wednesday. We've only been on once this week because of the holiday. I love when we ain't on and people get at me and just be like, what the hell? It's always a great thing, but it was the holiday, and we never do shows on holidays because I think it's important to spend time with your family, whatever it is. You got a chance to spend time with your family, spend it, and we'll get back to the show. Kamar, what you got coming up this weekend?
Let's see what I got coming up this weekend. I'll be at the Fondy Market Friday. I'm always at the House of Vitality at the Sherman Phoenix from 11 to 7, Tuesday to Saturday. Yeah, so that's what I got up. Wait a minute, I got something coming up too. Friday, I forgot. Oh no, that got canceled. That's next week. Okay. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
It's football season, and my son got a game Friday night, and ironically, Sean Moore's son is playing for Tulsa East. And last year at this game, we had a good time. This week they're gonna play each other, and I was looking forward to me and Sean being able to get at each other during the game. But Sean, I'm gonna be there to rep for you, and I'm gonna cheer for your boy too. Brad, what you got coming up this weekend?
Ah shit. This weekend I'm bottling up that honey mead or that honey wine that I made. I bottled up the cherry one already. I had to kind of lay off of it because you do get drowsy fucking with that CBD infused wine. So that's still sitting in the fridge. You know, you got to take that in shots. But I got that other honey one that's infused with CBD. I'm gonna be bottling that up this weekend and still just promoting my books, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope. And my TikTok page, Higher Frequency, HIGHERFREAKUENCY. Just about to get more in depth with just knowledge itself through the understanding of astrology. So I think
Okay.
my next video is going to be on Saturn and what it represents. You know, it rules Capricorn. It's the father of the zodiac. It handles, you know, government, structure, order, shit like that. You know, so a lot of people don't like Saturn, just like a lot of people don't like fathers. Is because in their presence they got to get themselves some act right type shit.
Mm. Okay. Dope. Shout out to Eagle Eye Shaw. He said Outlaw Radio just need marketing and online promotions. I would like to talk offline about it. My brother, please hit me up. Please hit me up. Please hit me up. 'Cause I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. And I can sing and I can play the piano at the same time, but I don't promote. So everybody got a different thing. And I've been looking for some people who are really team oriented that we could rock with, because we stand away from the crowd, and I'm part of that is great for me because I ain't never been a go along to get along type dude, and I don't want to a lot of the shit that's going on I don't want to be involved in. I'm really just about informing my people as best as possible. That's what's important to me, but there's some other things that I like to explore with the platform, and so I just been looking for the right people to get with. So my brother, yes, we can definitely talk offline about it.
And that'll
And I
still
ain't no
be dope to
cheapskate.
have a episode with him and Eddie Silas just talking
I,
about firearms and gun law. That shit'll be love.
you stealing my shit. You
Oh, my
stealing my
bad.
shit on my own show. There you go. You stealing my shit right in front of everybody. No, shout out to you. No,
Wow.
that's a dope collab, and that's something I want to. That's why he said let's talk offline. Absolutely, my brother. Whenever, however, hit me up. I know it's late tonight, but I'll be up for a couple. Just deprogramming. He said I love guns. Let's do it. Hey man, you and me both. And shout out to you, Real, because my brother and I got to spent a lot of time together this weekend, just hanging out because my people was out of town, and you had hooked us up with some stuff, and man, it was we had a great time, man. It's good to just get to sit and talk to my brother sometimes and chop it up. I said I was happy about the Fonzie statue. Why do we have a bronze statue of Fonzie in downtown Milwaukee, who was played by Henry Winkler, who was not even from here? And Fonz represented Happy Days. He was a character on Happy Days, but Happy Days is such a piss poor representation of what Milwaukee actually was. It was one black dude who came along 15 years in. I guess you could say if you go to the average community in the 50s and Milwaukee was hyper segregated, you wouldn't have seen any black people. So Richie Cunningham them could have been real, or it was a real representation. It's bullshit. Either tell all the truth or stop it. Pay me or pay me no attention. The whole Happy Days thing, Laverne and Shirley, it's all bullshit. The story of this city, how it was even from back in the days up until now, is yet to be told. It's also another reason I like to get with someone who has some screenplay stuff going on, because I have a very, very good idea for something. I always have great ideas. I just don't have promoters.
My
So
homie do Tubi. He make movies and they on Tubi and shit. I used to work with him. Jeremy Smith. I could
right.
hit him up and get his info and shit.
Yeah, just holler at, because I got this thing that, and I'm real careful about who I talk to about it. But
Yeah, for sure.
once again, man, I think that it's important how we represent it, and that's all the way around. That's why I talked about the black women. That's why I talked about, the picture that comes to someone's head when they talk about incarceration is that of a black man I'll never buffoon Sharon Evans. She said, watch the marketing thing. No. If I sell out, I get the hell out. But it's very important that and people say it doesn't matter what people think about you, and that's very true. But sometimes it's important what we think about ourselves. So when we put certain images out there, we're not only conveying images to those who hate us, who dismiss us anyways, we're conveying images to ourselves. And so those who are confused are trying to figure out, how do I walk this line as a black man to be right and exact? If they're looking for guidance and they run across the wrong influences, or if they try to go too fast and jump in the deep end of the pool before they have a shallow understanding, then they get disillusioned and left in disarray. It's very important that we control our everything. Right now, that's why Deion Sanders is important. That's why a brother like Byron Allen in corporate America is important. And that's why brothers like Magic Johnson and all these brothers who are moguls, who are business giants, are important, even though some of them may not pay it forward. But any positive representation of black people is a great thing. And any shining example, it ain't just about talking about it or putting on a show, but there are shining examples of great black men and women, and they get swept up under the rug every day. Sometimes they get watered down, disillusioned, and because they don't dance a certain tune or act a certain way. This is the thing with Outlaw Radio. I'm not going to play a game with you. It's going to be based on truth, and it's going to be something that's always in it for black people. If that's not the case, then I'm not. I don't want to be a part of it. So some of the things you leave us out of, we're not mad that you left us out of, because we wasn't going to get down with you anyways. But anybody out there that's down to do something that's positive and progressive for this community and want our people to be way more informed than they are right now should get with us, right? Because we are totally willing to work with you and not against you. That's what it's all about. My 3 S's are always separatism, sovereignty, or solidarity. Which one can we really do right now? We ain't ready for separatism. We ain't ready for sovereignty. Solidarity is looking you right in your face. So free Sean Moore, man. Y'all, man, be the change you want to see, and be aware of people who run around talking a whole bunch of shit that don't be about nothing, because we always realize within the context of those conversations that their criticism of the community outweighs their contribution. Therefore, they are coons. And I'll see y'all Monday, man. Peace and love. No holiday next Monday. We'll be on for sure.